We are up and running. We are up and running. Where is everybody at? Allah, make sure the voice is clear. Make sure you can hear me. We have no time to waste. It's Sunday. I'm grateful again. We are up. Binto Bantaba Network. We are up and running. Where is everybody at? I'm blessed again today to be here. I'm not the best, but one thing I can tell you, I have the best with me. I am not the best, but I have the best people with me. I have the best with me. I have the politician veteran. Hey, what about the young brother? He is here. He is politicking. He is ready for those votes. Nko, kotoke bijane. Nko, kotoke politician veteran olet. Another tomorrow me na konyo konko. Nga pali ndine sa Jamba be no koral Kexx Senneh. Ako nyina dindu wala. Ata sa politiko no ANC. Nga ko jam. Ha, PDOIS mataburu na jam ko man NPP di beta funta funa ko to kele bi minti na malu fo ko to dam ko be mutala ba. Ko to dam ko be mutala bi. Thank you. Ali jale moyba nko parela kamimfo atelam nyenti nga ala tentu nga ale tentu alkana every Sunday nalka kachajam jaliba. Thank you so much. Ika homi parela nko na sanse man na blue cheese afa la nyenti na blue cheese la nyenti kotokela ni honorable Lamin Jamba and Jammeh building out. Abinala bala politico folanye. Ameta politico la. Barenko. Na funding ke. Kotoke wal fa unko ibuka hanyala. Ibuka hanyala unko. Bimbas na kotoke sila stila la fiti bidinga biriminting Kexx lebe mbulu jambi. Thank you all for coming in. Ala baraka alimbe mobe kontronal tolnal kontrola jaliba. Thank you very much. Yenna kotoke jamu minkata Lamin jambanti atel fong be siri njang. Credit goes to you. So mbe murunda mbita do kola actually. Alnana chahano bantale kana kacha kumari mbaleke. Everybody is welcome. Later na time change ntala time change ta follow ton ka kanum 5 o'clock nal hakilo ba kanum sai murunta walto so time ka change nyamen ka murun ko mo because nta sa kenon ntala time 1 o'clock. So we are welcoming everybody. Ala fo molie alil share al information on share. So mbe mol sambalana mbe alembat kodoge. Yes. Jamu Binto Bantaba Network leti ninga ngol Gambian dindingol funding kela ke bal bele bijam nka politiko ke nga interest to politiko to bari nyim platform oto ise jakali yafo ko barato na binala fola ke don na fire therapist politiko man na nyo baramala politiko man na nyo nenna politiko man na nyo kajafila politiko is fun tubabo le nyin create la as democracy dingol nimbal katara bunko nale e katara politikin na so ntolla nyin platform o horomo nimbu nyaale bijam ite min soton tolye laftan ni wala kacha pour yen na londo la fa politiko to anisa mine keno la patiye pour isa mol sote la side nka ala tentu nka jibe ral soto and funding kel site jam bakel mol be dunia dawda kan jibele brother Kexx. Thank you for coming again. Ngeten to ngejai ni mankete follow ti jam andu atekele la banti jam andu kotoke fana atekela la banti jam so left Mr. Jammeh te dunang ye ini moli nyo konto
yo Binto baraka wake assalamu alaikum badin lamor lal ni jibe lal be mbeng ndonyo konto na follow minketa Kexx do ndene maje bare internet to kay ngamra fananka equator lojele tamba kurba o mun tenati wati mba fanang follow kanne oto keta bi kuma ata bake ye ndol mo fulol bendi jang mbafolete alme kamotule bulu alme tankara katani kata tolla alme la kanotula hadama dingol bulu alma nyin formo nyin ay ke sababuti ka Gambia beke sur julbor killing.
Amen. Brother Kexx, if I know dunang in koto okay.
Aparaka baake Binto mbe konton na nila la modlal be mbande la baljela ni manken dela follow di kana jambe inshallah to kala la bandari kon ka ko nyame rek ka cadla lan turun kanyo so hakilo la na banko ba sambala nyame nyako rek ni nata jiwe antel patio be ngana kile ne gambe bul wala ni de turun gambe kendo so de mealon kon dingol ni amma mari ngol be banko so de mealon ko si kontan ka ko nyama na banko to ka cala rek kanyo so hakilo la rek wato be ci agree procedures la boni ada rek be ngani akili na wadi ko meto de ngey to create this platform pour ngam hakilo fay jëndal ko leena dama ñew ñalo be tentu lan be jola wa kama ila platform ni na anytime you command the audio available kana kan
thank you
personal ko dilala mo karam
thank you moldol be fofana nyinin kaka bi fofana masingo dumale so bi o alta fofana moy lali alimbatu bi ning Mr. Jammeh ning Kexx ya Senneh ya domando so fofana tawe masingo dumal koto ke nga story ndine soto min ketam fongola story it birimbe menkang yalo ne dindini be menkan ika dream le soto ika falo ko nim mentambe kala nyinnet ndefana na dream was nse ke jaliba ko yate donc lalat even don kango mandia andum bin kol be kango mandia so I have this dream that kom nim fana nga school bam mbita nga ke jaliba la backup singat bare the problem is jaliba after mobe ta college so okay so mbita la college le ni nga college bang mbe so not a plan B finance na plan B walam left kala flight attendant net left kala flight attendant net ka do ko ke plane o kon bare na teacher kilin na nga approach wala nga ko ni man don kilo no bare mbe left kala flight attendant net akonye ko ita kala no flight attendant because kulato le be nyadat andu flight attendant imanya na kulati soto le imanya na fen soto lanka ko nanyun kulato nga soto nyame nkana sango san tolmu nkanale kuntu na fenko bala nga ja nga kamun ko pour nin sama sita bar barin kel tambulu mini yalon ko ke batan ta barin kel ntel siya bate bet so nde mam mo soto mimbe na fenka am fango selta nato sita jungo sungoto nimbulo nyimboyta na so wala nyimma ko ke the reason men story for mo ba fala nyin skata nyin story jam fata the reason men nyim fala Gambia nolo ni la mo nata ko lafta kala nyinnet ni man ku kayno isa sembentu ya and political mu kuleti mi yalon ko funding kel bi Kexx wol sifal ntol be lafta political kala bare modo le bije ibuka mol sembentu ya bare ka fole be mol sabale jindina wala tinanga nin dingo dimbebulu aka nyin dream le soto ya ma koy ay dunga a dream to so wala nan contente bi ngal sambana al yedi amu funding kele ntol funding kele ko do ke jamano Lamin jamban jammeti
Lamin Jamba Jammeh boda katon ne katon be kombo sadle yelom Gambia la foloti nsafo nole katon muje ala sariolti bari be man ka kamala kono bare ni ko kombo sad Lamin Jamba na bari do fam kamiran konton mu jambalati bari konton mu jammelati jambam minati bari tol wuluta korda bale kono Lamin Jammeh so momo ke jindi fenela so ndefa tum jambalati wala ne ka ko Lamin Jammeh ya janni politiko kono ndemu safo mu mathematical business wala karola bari 1997 ntata nun Germany then be bolana woto ni moto nata o moto le nata kenyi siloti ka business okay fo kono fanan nkatama kana fo nada possibility soto ka rally organize nyim banku kam min keda Gambia ti ka mol bondina Holland aning Belgium e ka fo do Amsterdam Dakar e ka fo do Antwerp Banjul challenge so wol kono wol nada munafan jamale si mol la nyim banku kam wala nga fo ya fo to ka leptano keje ka ambulance oldi for almost combo sat or the whole of Gambia munafan nyim futata jamal lela wo kono mol nata no politiko la fannala kato ward mol nata nje ka tandina ko lafite lo nye kansulo yala bari nina kansulo ya jibate mu yuruwa la fannala ti yo o kan alay ma koy fonganna tamfulo beke mo nene mal lonfe wo ala tendu balati na karola wala Lamin Jamba Jammeh for the moment.
Okay, so biribe loka wo political ite biri ya decide follow biri ya decide ko ite be dunda political ya party jamale choose
yalom political Binto abakola ko a footballer yalom bafola ko Chelsea player transferred to Manchester afiko transferred Gambian ol kawoje komin tanolo ni lafta kala politician odi for ke moti a good coach soto min ba if prefer to another so ibagela ko nte comme jama fo talon na no barende party follow by the wuluta party o min kono wolom NCP yo di NCP menta kono bilin na birikama wulu wala fonna kato wulu wala participate be kono bilin NCP party ol banda by the AFPRC be sila banko ka waro minna nte Gambia bar bilin nata bari mamam NCP la baramalati UDP ila barama min keta usenti bila futata mamale ka fole madifina jata ntelo mo woti anata min commande ka tandila ko SM dimbale nyinkina so dol keta moti min ka kaitota ka mulla voters card ka register UDP nabolu woketa UDP lumo minna wala mu birinta birikama bemo mabe primary school o nyinto bemba keta je so biringa Kenya dol keje ngakumo dol moy manda fika ke sababuti ka o turu sifalu dundi banko kan bari ngani banko na doya ne wudu nyoya lonne do wato mol yelol be kandiri mbakele woyatinna manna continue no be nimbe sukili mfudara soko non kay ko ntengaji nyaawnya de continuer la no woto itol continuer da parti o nyinto je ni do nyo kambe sirinje ntenada ka sawun APRC
okay yeah, so kore ye position nyaadi la occupy biribe APRC
won kansulo yakele bari dinada jibe fanan kansulo wato le right soto to le kanyo tombon ka chairman o tombon so ni nada birikama eda council jibe contest jele for the chairmanship minye win ainda mo kilinel chairmanship la atenda mo kilinel la dekada chairman oti okay wotam banta by if council ni tatam ke doron imam qualify ko de kamuru nan ko de foy one time bulay sinamu nan ko de so mimbe chairman ala bala tatam le atemuru nan ko de andu jiko tije ko de bari say mo min bije jamaa yaje ko okay bari ñulle contesta and possibility be Lamin la kamuru nan ka council ya soto to se bamba koma ka chairman ya ñini ko de bare bije fo ngaje fali keta ko quartier fayolom biro quartier fayo fo da chairman ñino doron ko haniko oto ndebe murun nan na wodo kanga murun bato councilorship bare man na du woto because of mbinawo kacal kono le minna APRC bo dalilolti wolbe ibina wolbe moyla bari monene man to ñini kañu kumalla maybe dol ka foko fali wala keta doron du wollomu sawuntale hani modol principal manol lom andum politician o inyanta jibela la fananko ila future be mun tolato as a young politician ni lafta kata dulato
So mbe wolu dolu mabola la fo duma ñaato demanding mbe ina details sol be wrap up la ñaato demanding bare mbita Kexx ya brother Kexx. Oh, hold on. Okay. Brother Kexx, ali rimbanke weekend fulata koma. Sangola follow katamba tunga sangoko alla alifami mbanta muna wullile. Wulle. Mbe sango konton na family be mbe sango konton na party yani Gambia dingol be alla chairman onyin nata. Wokola ali congress ke. Lafte yen tamandi domandi nyin congress. Mine ani wo congress dolu fata.
Okay, baraka baga ya follow down ndo rek mbada to wolto wala alaji Jamba kamara me alon ko na chairman wala ta wata wi warar bela ala na da wala ni go ya abanda
ka Kexx kan volume jibe domandi mba.
Okay, albe moy kan sa.
Okay.
Ngonka na sango fana ba konto na la Jamba na chairman me alon ko tele be warar ala na da wala ni go ya me alon ko da lost by the PDOIS political party or ni nara long I load Lamin da party we kabelu mena party lo ra ko kana bila ko ala ni bio Jamba konto number family be konto na sangola ba fla le ko ni ya balan doye be mo be appeal be mo be konto na sangola na bala family konto na amba ko la pana to da men to be chokla wo ko tare ka party la ko in ka promote Tonya Len, Koya Fanyam, a congress also to Amam back 2 weeks back, the congress, Malango did on the 56th and on the 7th. A congress to Malango requirement or an IAC, or for Mole for party, every 2 years, Yantakada 4 years, and Yantakada Congress, La Purpala, executive for Murate, Kamon Alzako Molvanala, Podul Bitakanyam, La Patu Marakanyam, Pruka Jibe. Pan democratic silo bita kanyora wala IEC la actual ni alongo wala lual la dimele alongo wala ka party be monitor so ma wala ke requirement oni am finti da congress commandi but congress ni na congress bol fatata andu me na o fatata pana wala nyinte ko doylem political party ni alongo almost go pass na last contest on the Ebe platform was 2001 when Kidia Jada contest about kababo wala ko from that time kanabila there was never a party the Jam Kampulila platform to Yala or the political party to Yala. But when Kataka Walling in Purka Gambian will be Natic and Yoka on a coalition of the Prumaya Jammeh bonding in Walaman Feroz, you know. Tinanuma not affiliate, but again a United Front period coalition 2016, Alhamdulillah, Alanata, Ndema, another win. Maya Jammeh bonding. So they not a Nina party or Nisa Hono Dolcafo. The party was sacrificed Purka Gambian and Yokan, so they were not talking on their party platform. What party will be for data Jamila party to Yala, but doing neither Diamla, Nadla, or the United Front Line, or coalition 2016. So I think more Amira for party union father. But out of another coalition or long and for the coalition or transitional period or Momanya Nakaparu, a party to Yala, but in Bebe Parliament or coalition on your support. So Sanji Sabo on the coalition agreement on your respect. Manta diam kam party la marali sort of all the 3 years of bekono marali sort of manfen sort of no so model fan ko do faara ban famanta ke wato party dol wol bela campaign wol bela rally le bela ku jamal kala do nyin sanje sabo bekono nga make sure that ko nimol d'accord maintenant nga o londi manta rally ke kam manta fenke kam bandara député bungol don leader sol ebe coalition on tenten kan ka loi kendol dundi je melman bede afana be bulo chodi la kayanda ko nyum bede so nyin len ko di melan ko bag so kabir nyin do sida Going because na moli amira patio father so mbakela in a grand style with a different style. Police along ko hani do be balurine abe kerene ko do le bi jemela ko le kada lahi do nga menta nyoy wala na doy mantra mama ko wala be kada ko do le ke kanum wala pour ka regime bondi jamela ko ngalon ko patikilinta bondi no la jam so ngo fanse kafunyo kan so nga kafunyo lol men ke ganyo kan e be mantano wala nga political leader le command ka party le command ne party le command so rosinaje ndella party o wata ndella be leader ndella so nada ko sa ni tado be presidential candidate le command no ka ngo command ni top sita so moving forward no wala nga nyum ko mu da nga ke fendi melan ko ka ko mena ko building wave for doy wala was the target pour que wave will kanda ni mo la ko doy be baluri na be janne so akera in a grand style de me alon ko nga caravan to bulandi je o caravan to nyi ala propose wala pour que round mol membe diam kan ka fo doy e fata la foti jay saje salon ko bi janne wala na on the 6 nga banko be ya nga dadi kaben bufa zone oto ya tan dun banjin ko non fintida nen pakawla dun tan sera kundala kanan traffic light la nga ma wala nya fo talene pour mol sala nga television ol fanal invite mel ma jeno pour itaje ko dobe balore then dimanche lo ndara congress la pour kan party leader tombo anena order committee members of the committee so melan ko central committee ka place o di mo la ndol men fanale do ko sanyi ludo kono ke jibe do ko men ke ka evaluate wala gara ko di bod dande be na de dankuma holo kono fata tep antele capacity men fonta wala mo keme woro pour wala na e holo fa but holo fata le up to the capacity fonta extra hole ndimo do le luwas je ko de pour bari na ta fo je pour wala fana se ko woro bar hano be mol tuta banta o kamun ko mol sonta ko doylen bar même fon ya sembo warande fana nka kumo même fo mol lata wala ko system o men be nyum banko ka nyanda ka falene and the message was anchored on that kind and ko system change mol sulata wala sign because na jamme bonde jande baraka mun tan sign system kilo nyene bije même mol betama kala no be banko dele kam baake dal dun ko sign ko system o nyene se falen esaje Gambia sa fan soto no so message o nyi mo jama ya ta je fanja kono mo be na da kila ko wala sembo waranda kibiri
mbe fan congratulate la ibe cyber executive on yung konale mbe congratulate la for your position wo I ku kende bala ke for the youths so I ku I ku kende bala ke for the youths Kexx so atol kamu message la for molie mi a kemoli mi a molu wakilin this sign ka understand ko sign doide nyanta kafule lale nata jele ko ali asafeni angale kanla informative choice ali wala keje mina mo message te alkam informoli
wala ni informed choice wala ni ko
informed choice yes
informed choice akuma da baga pour mo yalam because na loi même fo wala na Gambia constitutional même fa kono mo fuda da sanjita anen say wala etini that person is matured enough pour ka jibe fa même bana fala pour so mayo ta so until doy kera patio de me yalam ko bukal la fika ko mo le ko be carte of la nya by force dol sa fa like doy by force wala ka denkel la dol mo be patio dol fa le ba fa by force until filter ko mo fenna de me yalam ko banko de mo ni ko fa rek ka dictate wala ka fa ko nyanda ka carte of intel form of a dictating the party until believe fa nyina la ko Gambia dingo Gambia ni fa sanjita nin say mo le de me yalam ko hakilo nyanta ka futa le ka long fa mo be na fa la ko kamunda ko la suwo kono rek ni mo fula bije mo sababu bije bo ne ko ro sire ka lan ko nyina mo landa mo de me yalam ko sinna karafo diala non sinna fengol diala non so believe ta ko harama do fana ni fula do wato do bayre wala na duwa ko etindi yesi nyanta ka carte of no ndo na luwa ya nan ma fo sanjita ni woro wala ma fo ko sanjita ni say because that's the majority of the party pour salon me yalan ko asina fa so believe ta ko ni momom nata nan do e kanale butan informed choice wala ni de ko kumol me yalan ko do e kafo wala ka tinne na nanje because mbuka ko di mo la pour na patio support mbuka ta mo ya nga ko be kolon la sinne nga kolon sinne by force ni na patio do del ka jara ko what is my our responsibility wala ko political party ni mama la social responsibility we feel that so no do ko e mol nyabo na kuma kan e mol nyabo saje sinaje so mare ko munda ko kanaje by informed choice la wala ko kuma kan nyanga wala mo ya informed tala la tala ko la na da joint party la so wala mo message ni de ka ko mo na da do is an informed choice wala na
informed choice. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Jammeh. Mr. Jammeh, but on mute.
Okay.
Mr. Jammeh, left a walk through. Min dalila la fango yatina ibota APRC katu ikata non cancel for several years. So APRC mun dalila la fango yatina molu ma wo moy malo mineketa
ma moy kay baraka binta ante biring APRC mansakunda boyta ndata non Holland nga kardantan keje mbeje nyawnya na banko mol ben kumande kan purunga nalo kombo sa député yala bare o time mola na tandila ko banko la situation o benyami ndelola no député yala bare parti fasa kamay momolondi binala murunale ngana mari fasa na do koke andum lo minna o keta doron député koto min biye ya londi min keta abduti nata lungo min nam futata airport to ngamira talang woro lale somanda bare janning talang konon to wata lentengam pare kata abdou tala sanyang pour naita campagne so woya itandila ko ning haduwelo walla fendolum ite ila patio matuje lota pati ko pati la activity ngamo jama bonni kombo saat kono kamotol joye ke samba programme la ani fo la bouvason programme lu mabete beleto bare nada korosiro ke mina bayri mo ni tara fo iboita inanta kule kela e mira bake e muru mol kan e donol kan minen boyndi na muru bo kan bare komin ninka foko kunun dollo sembe batiolti komin ni nata jibe e kay kombalalde e katale busandi hanu e kala fiya kombake kote hanu e la fiya kombake kote so e ke busandi fo la bon e dawro e ki so e kaje politiko bi wala fannala APRC ndela jeroto inyanta muru na koma ka grassroots nyininka minen tol busandi nse mine keno fo bari kano bijel han bi kano be molto because ini momi meta sanje mo kawola kano bondi sondo mod ama easy dal yo safo na laba bo dalilo kedamidi wala the last chairmanship election bari debe na bankoleto molu na atandina ko you stand a better chance pour kalo ni chairmanship la because imeta nyinila andu kana carte fo minna west coast demale yelon fende fo yo pass ila ma yurwa do ku kono oto mbela fina nyinde lo patio en ko haniko nil lota patio chairmanship ibajela ko na konsina wodo to ibajela UDP be je tare andu wo sampudo lotade bare binin tara ko man talola nyina bonda mol kan pour melola na fenke yalla kansulo yalla mon boda GDC mina ko wollo baramati dala si wuli fulay ni wala na de ko nyoko tela 400 APRC ni te lota mote contest les faits be wolto fo APRC mon the high people ka tanina ko fo ite banko APRC mako leylo chairmanship la so man ko ndamante de nim banko mollo ma altali wol approach ya foli wol sonda murunda nga application o safe ya mirako ya application o safe min tara fo karfula ila kayto idam male tobe la rinje andu wol molle ko anyini up to national level be aron nen kam min fo ni nga fani ala mo kan ala se ndol busa nada oke bije nga kuma manel moy dul kala ko karamun kayto tabulu ninga teta natata IC ba drop lanko mo ko qualify ka councilor itana fo député yali ni ye ngama won the same criteria la bije pour yekeno chairmanot wala fananketa ibajela ko disappointment no ye badu for last minute momi mallo nyosoto ila moni bebe banko kay hope so ko telo up to last minute a kind of a game not a play from the regional level because it alonte ya loy malo nte be molle je laftam mol kane nakari APRC bi musolu jamani ko mi mure kala file ko e tare bulu hatinna ka musolu modol bije ka musolu dundi kuto nim aso bi sawalla mina ko man necessary bari kumo na folu wolom molle be regional level min koy ka Lamin nekele bari Lamin manafi ye molu tora bari sa folo yala mbijele doron musolu ni walla la fam musolu da konko ni skel dolu yenna buwo fandi tap e ko ne balalla moli asobi min sambanan ye dami fo ja sertale andum o dañi ndolta sanna no wala bayri nyinda ngalo ne marché ta ka sanjel ye milla ka siata andum kola min bije amanna pure represent mbije ko fele sirinde iko nyobayo ale min dila imenya fa nal sa falino so e ka de kontera wo kumo keta woli kontera ka wol soso ka fo ko alkana asobita so amunta min wol fana min be jono to modi bije min anko e tol ka balu patiola mol be woni toro ko nyama nin ka mire be patio nyi structure la nyadi bar wol fanan be bisir na ka jibe ko itol fanan be musol min anko bayi modoli la malo e man afikaje musol do wakilin joni dolla ka asobilta ibe o filino dile ko APRC dorono hanibi APRC dorono ibagela den tada o tombondiro lumo min nante bita marakise ko nyele ko nanan inila ciamano ya do fay toli e parente kamma level water national country ko momo sote fe so mbete le tala yara fay to regional level e plan o setting kamma wonna hinka ko mom fo do bi je fam mo yen ko katani ko lamini imanke imu mandin kolti ni eta kans chairman ni winter ibita UDP le wallahi mona da fo o ko dunta na bake ay ndimi bake bare na pati yolom hanibi mbe proof la wrong dada o tombondir dula itol ma fu ko tombondir be kere yare itol with even the APRC National Assembly members mon min nan ko wol nyanda kala neutral party nadi o selection dula wol bebe mo kiwe ibadu mo baydi wom fojin kolti say ni ka fo mole ko mantara fasaro la be jahallal ndeta da tombondir dula anteni mo manta fo nina musu ciamano min tata futata je ngatara ko tombondir ko le be tol bul atare pour ko nyako ibinila fewol les kayto les sambala dorom yo tombondiro keje ko nyin amam kontani nte sonnala bi te sonna ndata national level wolen na blame complain o be jibe ya accept ya lonna ko purely the whole of West Coast molke commander katandila ko as a good coach at this time Lamin moti mi anko nali ata probability min be wala as a UDP bit no because minimum ala past records but no in other day wala minna o atara emeba ibebe APRC emeba wolu bujaji wolu wala bebe APRC wala keta multi min anko atandi fa bakar wala ko ntolle be region oto nin ko ngaminta mbe wala tala bara atara wala wolte sawala molle tol duko so ba jala ko come on ñum monte nendirolti wala na patio mbe batarim patio miye kante malundi molu nyala nakyo banko mol be kam fata so ina mol kam fata so patio mi yalo koy malla fiye nyato soto député ya ni na ko mbosa those days APRC time la apply le and ni other primary tadanu I will be the winner but coming la Gambia system wala ne jem ko ketaje compromise tan namol ko independent ko no alangata back to the party nga compromise bulata wala noma so kabirim carte fight and that independent birim boda je fa do mitino ke niya niya yankuba kolia nganda stand be tandila ka tandila ko this time bay atolem bulani palaso minila foka ban fal ko nyem moñini ay seyino do kansulo yala fontata wala sate to ngam applique ngawon appeal ila moda appli ko ay moso adimo so ay lo won sonta wo bela atole na bonde ko e ka fo nyem muru wo mari kan ya fa twite ye muru kansulo en ko wom joyal the only thing min ken kam fa proof Gambian ko le ko aldo no le kawmil lanka wolom nyinde ko certificate o te Lamin bulu natata IEC iba jolondal ngo hannin be 10 votes le sodola mbita lola danko do ngatambi nomination lu ngatambi Gambia be nyaaje so wolondi independent candidate lota jang West Coast quartier fayola alay makoy tonya bayri kunkilo lo short time long but another with 5,000 plus but ko do le play da fa tendumbe tambila wondal bayri be ajel nomination lu ngakra min pool anu ni na debate lu fanana ngamin biamu be alo ne jumala ka kumofo ninte fasar parti fasar bari kola Gambian kol batandi bakele kola parti na parti ilka mofa ninati naniye mokeje abuka karfula kar sabakeje do tafo ala bondi ko sibuka mo gibe jannika tombo ite ka parti kola jibe doro lodo independent thinking even that ko after that the party senior Marta Patiola iba realize la mistake ol minuketa ite amna West Coast be warari nyamin tenga tole from Kalagi up to Kato up to everywhere in West Coast, Nawale, and I came out with 5,000 votes plus. So Ibadan Mongo single-handedly with the support of Bonle Trust Sotat. I came third. UDP nada, APRC nada, nada, GDC nada, fourth position. Yeah, what Ibadan Womari FN achieve. Mbesiring, Mbelamuela, comme parti ming at least in Sudan. But ima maike Mbesiring, nataje, Ndafol no NPP ntolenga lo. Ndamanda NPP ntolenga NPP lo. So mbalo landa kono.
So APRC, biribe APRC tenting, biri nyi misunderstanding sotota. Jammeh ya foko dolu loyal tanun Jammeh bar biri a kodi doron wolu bota ibota APRC. So ite ni toli misunderstanding ne soto wala bondije bar Jammeh la ta wo me bita bondije.
Momo be kala foroti APRC yalon ko APRC boyru ko la Lamin yala lol tale motor min ka wutu kananan ndele ke dapansi ndele ni mol be kata birin kata bendinduro kallaji fo kata buvation mitinol la fo programme côté wol ka fundraising ke ninna mol banko kan kaje ko kombo sa te kide la APRC la karola ka bati ay commande ka programme wol ke ka fundraising ke woto nem momi an ko niata ba hadu mo bari birim mansa kunda boyta doro mol min yentelon ibe UDP be blada ko nyako ila lo nya waratale puru katara mansay mane bara doa bije bi ka fo alhamdulillah ma ji wolbe UDP ko ngalla tanya ko si nyami alni mansate labanna albina kuyala le do ka fo nya nenete kela wonente kela nata ji wol keda ngoy ma ji yara fam kuoku mose batu doro bara nga ala tentu ba ke mbeda min bi nga ala tentu de mambo APRC ko Adama Baroku wala kudo no nte wala APRC dalilo min kama wala mnyinti ko as a player mo politician oti ngajel ko molle be man national level for de but the regional level wol ka jele ko ngaje ko akana tambi wodo na wala mira nyata andu yo kele ya kenken so minna be jiko so to national level ngaje ko gollo molti minina ko rosiro han APRC regional level ke la ko ke bar labo mansa ka table ay national level ay korosiro ke ka dubious game ka play so ite fay toya kiskisi na long sabone be national level eta fo ya long ko toya Lamin no moti min nyanta kallo as a good coach wolu wala ngalo nako APRC kanungere belale but they need to change their coaches wala mo la mol mi ñaan ko be politico ñaato national level I have respect for them but politically ila malum ñanta ila players all dundila wato minna wala atina patio ñi ni nara jibe there is deep love for people especially it is coming ay ba jela ko niaje be lose come because of what coaches soldom what coaches all yeah
ite la future je ñaadi le APRC la future ite amana ñim political party ñimbe ay continue la no la ba faabe dol ka fala be faakan
no moto balanda no fa dari PPP 30 years ite ajele 30 years do mo do bi jele tata fo faate man la ko PPP be abe fengel amuta mo le be PPP sustain kandoro wadete PPP li la bank mo jele ka lono woli feja parti jel ye APRC all the same long mi atina APRC aning PPP be fatala demanding ni ya fo dol ta jelano bare modo ya jela commune ko mbadi jola wol ya jela ko jutolo mo tolka o de fanan be lola ya je ko APRC ke patiti min be lola wala mo wala sayot ba ni na da gibe wole mo to min ke patiola ye fanko min ke patiola ba patio administratively ndekaje ko wote patio ni sustain no so at the end party in Abefala slowly, especially after the December election, it changes Balajela. Party only one of APRC. Bid another deputy candidate for your family. Inteko, Indian Dela Ponson, Minyanko, you sort of want to the symbol. So put in short time, put president I will cover Intekoto, like Adam Barrow, put I more deputy Tano, over Koyala. Jandi ka motan sabata ka londi député yala. Ina motan ne lule londi la. For instance, you all you have talinding. Ibaje ko yengol course wol dulale ni anko ye chance soto mu wolto back. But because ye mon londi dulado leto, imam concentrate no wol to tendi se wol do soto no. But ni na rajibe maje bibe lose ka wallale truly. Because they are still mim for a lot of député yala all mim Usman Geti. Over NPP la side. So obviously party mean slowly abitala doro. Abitala le wonga yo jiko soto le dal.
Okay. So janni be dunna ngate nyinin ka akaye tamata nyamen tek fo putata MPP mbatu ngada Kexx ya. Brother Kexx. Mbatu.
Bare Kexx so nyancholo munda dum mansari wal.
Okay, Kexx mbatu, hold on. Okay, Kexx.
Yeah.
Doyla kafo wolo wato ntoldindima growing up ntolanga tarele they doing their politics, but the word socialism, new social system of government, doibe min encourage kan kasamba na Gambia. President Jawara la time yef kumale foj doyun koluma min keta ko nal sonta socialism ye kenyum bankun kanjang hana la musol mune mo savo ntolo on kuloli ko hana la ko doge mune
Jawara le di benni wala
pabi ni politiko no bagel but say lafta funding ke min bugo Kexx explain more pour more sa fahamo soto new socialism system of government. What explaining to you? Yeah, for your local language clearly. A concept me minute.
I better bag I get politics to the Malango. Jawara use because of the level of the people and more because politicians play with the minds of the people. They can play ila mind la on the level of understanding in the mundo. So here the body unko linki unko ninjara unko niko dele ko ila muso ila kodo otekele ta direct. Bejarra yang amfam wala baro ko nyana da sodora so bile de la mind ka anda dila ko ni tege ni socialism na da la muso de la muso ila kodo de la kodo de la fente la kodo so that mindset will develop the more because of the awareness ni ama warano so mole o muda ko fenne wodi but mo bi ala ko in society yela kodo men doku mo ni tina na tapika o busi bulu do mo fana de man ta kundalo na ngala ko ka ko mola muso ese we no lu ngolu yeda ya table so this phone call what they're just trying to political direct today and they think that it has an impact but ama impact should adoila when it's from because many anta ka mo woli ya mo le do la understand man but ni amo socialism fe ngole me ala ko mol ka foko but ni tada even China bitilo nga wor China men nga foko China was one time started with a socialism from Konyo, but they have so many factories and so many industries. They start to expand by giving. But China bunda based from the international community. So they're trying to manage the little amounts to build their sovereign wealth. For sovereign wealth, so they start to expand. So do if anaka wale for mole ko biti lola jang bankola na fulo nala mineral resources should be cooperative and socially managed by the states. Mbota example wala nyinti ko like mining fela be kan nanyim banko kan jam for almost jawra jamano la for kana ya jamano la for hansa and baro jamano la but ni data na national budget to be ikoko be budget de kanana abuga reflect in our budget ka ko ni ko do nangam le so da baro kungula mining do ni so do sa na mining do ni so do kaputo la mining do ibuga for mole because according ite lalo ka dundi damito so do ko ni do man sakundala ni ka ko socialism man sakundala wodi ko ni be bidala ka fo damito ko sovereign national wealth ko sovereign national wealth so bidala ka ke keso ko non keso me alon ko wala be kala banko la keso de wala bang ni man la ko do ni o keda do be minata la woto wala ni ko ni wala bitala provide what we call social service for the people e bajala ko leptano be lora me alon ko boro be soto laje banko dingol te batala because mena kera banko la nafulo la dunda keso ko me alon ko be leptano ni mutala ba sustain ni na da fo karan wala karola e bajala ko doy like science de ikam inte jende be do ko la bi bante da malbe do ko bandi ona be wula school so manda nga bula la eta school to en nga fonsi da samu dia nga lonchi dia la pour en konton fana pour traje but do ko with the do system of government be menekala feeding program la better school ite dinno e ba duna da dia so rek bo so le basical from the portion abedamento kasamba karammo na futara karamoto abe dasa mota raje ka fo mel ko social service nimbo provide la abe dasa mota da karamoto so iba yetela dani body no membe ko dasa mo provide ka transport provide wo be relief from you so la salary ni could go into other avenues. So these are some of the ideas that come from Moleko. These are the issues of socialism coming from Moleko. Bankola na fulo na kono ko will be cooperative managed for the benefit of the citizens. And it will be equally share based on the service that you render to the state. But about social service will be sort of a recreation center. They don't have any ground to play. There is no recreation center here in this Gambia. It is not. And with a socialism concept, will be created that the state must provide service for the people. So with a socialism program, all those facilities will be funko. Nina reta about na dump backward and a dumping side bedament. States should have managed what we call a housing scheme for the poor and low earners of the state. Yamude obado control dump sign by this time we nyaka closely yamude abe ke baye bad yamude abe nyamul be janja ye ko je maybe another person look because development has come in place. People who live within that surrounding, so smoke soul no chemical will make a fight that backward dump site. It's not good for the health of the people. Aka water table o mudala katinya, that's why I need that manjara surrounding na momo kolongo sinjela kolongo njio ni ko be kuro kala buka kankano because the water table has already been damaged. Ibuka amino. So when you move forward, what states can do is state can make sure that they build what we call a social service and the man who poor anasol, you bungo loje for double money palo for 3 billion money palo. Eka di mola, eka kunti salary to demand. Before Buffalo for 40 years in service, American have a house government. This is my own compound. But Nina Rajibe Yamoga do cooking bank for 60 years retire. Ibuka they live in rent for the rest of their life. So these are some of the concepts of socialism. State social security is ozone based for more than how many $1 million? And social security is the people's money. Why can't you invest social security efforts to invest and create what we call housing scheme for low earners in this country? Why can't you tell Social Security to create a recreation center? You pay maybe for $5 for something and it still go back to the state coffers. Before about 10, 20 years, Social Security invest will come back to the people. These are some of the stuff. But they can't have Social Security model for a pension or marry to claim the money from a book. And these are state institutions. Companies or yeta order they are not paying dividends to the government. With a socialism function, they will pay dividends and they will create employment for the people because they must be there to render service to the state by creating employment. So socialism la concept better than banko be kala banko dingol le tati. Banko be do ko kala pour banko dingol le. Where banko le do ko kala pour boost wasi le trasando. Wala na the poverty, the rich and the poor, the gaps will keep on widening because people are not paid based on the service you render to the state, but they are paid based on the name of the position they can handle. Like if you look at a minister today, a minister is paid not less than $75,000 with allowance or everything is there. Everything mobile of academia and mansala bajul. But bindano me along office on clean. We will latest by 6 o'clock. The minister before the office so that he will go and clean that place. I have paid that 5 cents. Minister at 9 o'clock after the office but you are paying that person $1,000. So with the government, all this service will be a minister. Then the minister it will be a service, it will be a position of service. Because neither makes sure that people are paid based on the service they render to the state. You will kill the corruption because Nika law a magistrate with a high money. Motinano or minister ka bribe ka magistrate in case because what I'm earning is okay for me. So you kill corruption in the level of the state's institution. Minister if you look at the budget me allocate for traveling and the budget me allocate for salary, the difference all departments are far different. The budget of traveling is more than the basic salary is provided by the state. So minister or permanent secretary sol ibeka no saba purka tama because ni tama de la tama is your 3-month salary. But it's possible that people should have a very good salary. Then you can make a travel kunto, you could have put that money into the salary of the people. So you can pay at least $70,000 or $50,000. But in Tamada, maybe because it's a service that I'm running in Tamadana, you'll pay my hotel, maybe come by Mansakundala Beojola, and maybe you just give me a pocket money of $3,000. You might be like a Tama, because Fenty, but now you Tamu because salary man better, Tamu Kodobe Waldo, so you can Mobe Kataja, Honey Permanent Secretary Katamena, Minister Bafam for Seleta, Deputy Katamena, Minister Bafam for Selakata. So there's a competition of always Tamu, Mulga Tamu from Kirita Mansur, you could do it by Skype, you could do it by conference call. No, I have to go there and get present because of the gap. So socialism concept for people will be paid based on the service they render to the state, and state will be an institution will serve the people, but at the Kalaje just serve a few individuals. Neither like Kafura Guardian Musul Trajebe do Kolaji. With a socialism government, Ekanana a bourgeoisie or a capitalist, the Kayakonana again a lano target Lansino Dintala every year Kanjo Lansinola. Onata and Musul Mudaebe Kafuno Mabedo Kondikantilo like $75 or $100. Will know with our government of system, just like that. With a socialism government, we will make sure that cooperative bank yele me alanko kodo beta la ne jeme ka bekola bankola na nemo le kono na ba kono le mbam fonka nyewol mel muta jele mbal sinol me alanko ke soro jele mbam fo mum wala ka mayni no jaw kodo be la musul le ba fala musul ko nana ye julota me alanko interest ta raje because musul ne yaje buka lonta because nita bank to interest men ka raje is too high. So you can boy if I book an hour journalist near a bagasol table. Telecom bear did but what you will pay is service charges. So ne masakunda de don't talk on call. It after bagaso bagasile basa naje, ebe do poker. Ne do poker de masakunda de dan now. With a socialism government, Minala Momusul Tere, the Napol founded. What if Fintila from Kana Marcel or Kana Marcel or Conjas? But Minala Netrel and Napol Doji, near a bagasol sable from the garden. Government ata, Wabata, finally another section of groups of Melanco, they'll be retailers, Melanco, Lebe Wafro will have a storage facility, Melanco, Bagasul Melanco, Bukelano, this will store. Melanco, Fintino Banco can they go in foreign exchange nana, but for a packet needed and Yaki outside the continent, foreign exchange nana and Bangkok. Melberry and Wolfana canting on Melanco, Masakunda will provide le, near Cindy, Kabagaso Jileka Wafi, a profit in Kejo based on those things. The Bajala congestion in our market because Musul near Bekana because there is no market for them, there's no stress. So Bekana near La Garden, Yunga Montana, I bed and Serapuna Marcelo. Don't be there finding $100 Bagaso Canana, word of Bagaso. Those people should not come to the market with $100 quantity. They go and give it to the retailer. These are the concept and state will be a service, institution of service to the people rather than citizens be the service to the state. So this is the concept, but more misconcept like socialism has never worked anywhere in the world. I'll give you an example of Norway. I give you an example of Sweden. You look at all those. Today, Nita sovereign national is more than $3 million. Melanco is Bankola Kodola word because the sovereign national wealth is generated from the state funds, is put into the sovereign national wealth. What can your service will provide you? Hanita for your state will provide for you. Ne accidents, the state will pay you, although a state will provide health facilities, health insurance for you. This is what the concept of socialism is all about. Socialism. So more of them misconcept because they don't want people to get the message. So before they will kill you, the message on Sembo water, so they kill you. They kill your horizon to even go and listen because the moment the idea so they kill your spirit. You want to see things on your own. So they are just followers. They don't think independently to understand. Let me investigate to find out. But they just follow people based on what they believe solely. Because what on the same system, is creating the gap between the poor and the rich. The rich will keep on being rich, and the poor will keep on getting poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer.
Thank you. Jammeh ite o system o nyin system o Kexx nyim mimbe explain ite amara nyim system o be work la non ton la banko ka.
Malo boy be lola wato min ay Kexx tara abe sanji jelule. Ni ajibe socialism ay Academic for China, wala France, socialism nama win naje. In France, aeta 100 and something years for Janika Kanye Wolto. Kuo ni ba follow la, ika follow dumale, inata. Aka plan solving for polish them very well, even engineering, ipetiata. But for Gambia be pareri wala le bang, wala nyanda kela njinin karoti. For Gambia be pareri neka socialism ta. For a jiko ben tolla le kabor duma bang, kadita follow la no mansakunda. Mbe patari min be kono kuo nyanda ka follow dumale. Minati na doila loni sainte ma bini wala la watu. Nye musu naki kilinta kombo. Ye musu tatu ta woto. Ya jeko ye wali sembentu yandi woto. Bibata la Gambia be iba fahamu lale. Amanke theory to the practically. Mine doila minimum minti. Theory le siate bulu. Gambia no do mawo understand. Gambia no lafita jelal. Aken agi. Ila theory very nice. I have nothing against it. Niaje momo bara nita mol Gambia no mina obata la Gambia la karananu almost ite mo konti la Gambia kono mimman kanko de. Imagine they are having a hand. Mol be Kexx wol mo kote wol mol be min kaje kon karante an tenyanta tara doile. So be la faka but ta grassroots ni be la support jela maybe ta jela wulilleto. Ito fana nyata sile fo nyininka. If you cannot beat the system, you join the system. In Okono, Nibe Mol Kono, is on a idea to inculcate wala system ol kono. Barende kaminje to la koto wala mu ake konteta wala nita kelano. So ba jela ko Gambia no fana mbuka wotano. So because niaje hani suku hani kawan birin gamol kake sukula nin tabalol kake modol nade ko sukula manyankela kawando kono gamo kono ahamutale so ibajela ko wata mol ka suku wala le puru ka mol attract na musa di nese kawandino so ibajela ko doy ila philosophy nothing against it but it will take long time put work no what the killer no society what let them start from carton or let them start from ila idea minti let them make a pilot project in one of the villages. The idea mean therefore thing. Though it could be one of the strongest party, now that they come for, they are doing it practically. But everything is polished, nice on the table, very fine. But I'm sorry, Abakoleala Bake, Puru Gambian will understand. They will say, okay, don't mind, we are just more the pioneers or the foundation makers. Our children to come will go. Of course, it will go that way. As long you are going, it will go. But it have a system or new of Dunta, Abe Tamala no Gambia elaba. Nga fighting. Abe Tamala no Abe Tamala no because Gambia do that. But Gambia no na water let you follow. Momo kuo kuimaja kabankoli minu konti. Yala amafonye Senegal, amafonye Guinea-Bissau. Yajel akafonye le China. Yaje ndela damilo France won fanam follow tan mun tole fo janni ka futa socialism la amade ko socialism wilta do re wintage ani ye wato leta fontol be sonna na o process ol taba ani woto ninte mu Kexx wol nyoti system wol min be caring mbe tarala wolle kono nkanna ideas such ideas one by one nka dundi kam isa ye wol fona sa yara fon nyanda nyinne kala so yeah Kexx
Nakodo my first start on the grassroots. Purka yanta ni mola ko wo example ni kamel photo to purka start purka initiate. But maybe he didn't find the history of Toy. Kabin do na rajam force ngama mo be bitan mena ko we create a school mena ko ka fa nyako no in school. And Nina Rajibe, other schools sold Melan Banko, how much they are charging and what Nyako is charging are totally different. It shows you that these are the system Nyanta coming to them. Because Hadamado used to catch him young, Turka currently the value of sovereign citizenship. Pralon Contelam Banco Dimoti, do Banco Monteltari. No more so don't Karakanta, Salam Konambulo Kola Wadi, do Nikapuda Nomarek, the Gambia Kendo Lola. The school they don't charge anything. I could remember last time coming with them a 5 budu. That 5 budu is just to keep the school. Purka school only keep the bagasu like a bukol men and kaito, but Nitarawato other schools, so they were charging more than $5, $10, $15 as their school fees. But these people refuse to do that. These are service of social service. State should be providing it for you people. And if a charges will be a minimum charges. The module that Nyako school that has a foundation to understand that Momo Karanda Nyako school today is either working in a bank or is a lawyer or is a doctor. And I have met almost there are 3 of the Nyako products, they are part of the middle, they are doctor degrees, others are scientists in this country. That is a product of the, that's how we intend to govern this country. You move from there, we create what we call people center. People center in Kabinga Kidem Kamina for Moleko, Molmelanko, Alama Mo Beso, Londo, La Procada Karan Class, Wole Bulmado Boleno. Na skill center Melanko teach people about skills works all. And neither of them they were provided by the party to make sure that they give the opportunity to the people. Mole computer karanje, mole karalol karanje, mole phone karanje. Today they are people melalanko. Ibe fansum metuli, fansum pitikolia. But manda wodon dara senola karola. Del doy kada patu de melanko ngafalol sa mole janga sabedol sa mole jani dara CRR, dara URR. Ibajala ko ngasarero samole pour ka entendre ko famine de kala nyame. For example mo minute wo Masakunda will provide all the materials that you need. They give you fertilizer, machines, everything, so that you will make a vast cultivation of your crop, whatever crops you want. Okay, then state will come again. They buy it from you people, and the state will do the sellings and the other things by international communities, by even producing it. If those materials need to produce the state will do that, and we have done that in Nyamina. Histories are there. But Gambia molu, because of it is not more controlled by it doesn't go well. But and that's what we call Woolly Development Fund. That initiative was created by PDOIS, what we call sovereign national wealth, like example of Benyami, to create what we call Bankola resources, solar beta I gathered black. And CDA come with the concept of Woolly Fund. Akala sarali mutaka kundu every month kajo mena kabala force with the bomba. Kamutaka put into Woolly Development Fund. But from Fanalanga Soto Sato Konojaman Sato La Fonde, will Fanal Kokodo de Carduligi. So by a Nila Leptano for the Boro, when the Sula Fenare, they go to that phone and collect the money out of the Sato Funky Fansum Kunkoya, the Kafomekoela farm, the Kamudeka Kodol Mudeka Africa do. This is the concept. So we have shown the practical to the Gambian people. In Kodomako, we didn't show it. We have shown it to the Gambian people, and we implement that those people say that it is workable and it can work. So the practical is there for the people to understand. But Lieutenant Brother may understand. There was not that much interested in political party or Katanya. Yenare give Wuli Bibi because by first and bank hotel, and I will do any means to control the state. Pruna banko ni mutanata. Do more. Do there's no other political party when they came into being party mayake. The party will be in mobilize people anyway for the Kodola dealer, for the bribe, for the induce. That's what they have been doing. But then when they start first, they can't banku di mulano for banku di mulialo memuitat. So they start to educate the people to understand that for banko muitel letter, the cassette produce. Kadi mula in all local language. Kadasi banda baro cassette mutaka fix the kantani mula mansa minimal responsibility the banko di mulka and in banko for minimal responsibility the banko banko di for responsibility the banko. So this process takes a long time. This is not just a mere process, it's a process of vast mobilization of the people to know what belongs to them. But before Yajamela Kudeta, go to the history and check. More people were ready for Doi. So people were saying that. Because more everybody was, because Doyle message already are filtered down to the people. They understand that Gambia bondino. But then Kudeta came in. But if Yajame Kudeta came in, we had gone into election, that election would be a Doyle EIS election. They would have been the presidential candidate, a president steering the affairs of the state. But Kudeta Naragi, it drew the Doyle's process because Yajame Nadana, he and a degree and a constitutional muta suspend. He came with degree. And Doyle has to force Yajame to go back to constitutional rule. Well, 16 days after Yajame came into power, he arrested both Syria and Franconia because he wanted to close down their newspapers. He wanted to put their challenging degrees. They arrest Sambana. They start fighting, pushing Yajame. They call what we call the National Consultation Forum was created to look at the transition. Yajame should have been a transitional government. We'll just do a transition of 3 years or 5 years, like I bought hand over the government to the civilian. Ya Jammeh then turned out at a Fagunju Kolen at an Abaiko, La president, then I to become a civilian to continue the ruling. So it takes a battle of, Molialan Jammeh was entrenching himself. So they was not concentrated on their party, but we try our best we could build equality because then we study and understand that the more we are going, the more Jammeh is entrenching himself. The party killing at the end of the day, party are there on the Bola Mula at the end of the day, election will win. So we must come together. So 15 years of Decono, we were not talking on their platform, but we were trying from United Front to NAT to coalition to the system. And we have success. So we said now that we have achieved what we call a regime change. Now we are going to a system change. You must change that system that keeps us poverty for 54 years. That system that is not paying service to the citizens. We must change that citizen. A system where institutions have been failing this state. You look at even our police force. With a real government, socialism force, police force are bad because the workforce is coercion. It's more of dictatorship. We say police service, army service, then you understand that this is an institution of service to the people. The moment you use force, that's why you could see our police officers using force on the citizens, because that is the mentality in them. So that needs education to understand that they are institution of service. These are the issues of socialism. So those the examples are there. The Gambian, based on their personal interest, they refuse to accept the message that will benefit the entire Gambian people because of individual issues for Libya. And this is what is delaying the development of the country. But not that the message cannot work, it can work.
Yes, thank you, Sane. Mr. Jammeh, ni Sane ba fokang a system change. Nyim 4 years or Barrow government. Ete amera system o nying a change talabang for just regime change. Hello?
Avoba.
Nka for the call.
Hello.
Nka for the call. Do you call system change man soto? Iko regime change leketa. Kexx fela a ko kachanya science. Ite la miro mu minute for system onying a change talabang for regime ngamansa kungo doron na fale. System onying man change. Yemine mira.
Both sides lomo Binto. System onying abe falling can gradually.
Okay.
My honest opinion. It alone the cat skyrocket lano. Katu bintening Kexx la diamo nite bi. Womu kule be falling ka. Na korosirol. Well be kekan. Honestly, as a politician, mena politico enjoy can be back a phone. Woto falling dirolu dolu bije be tarde lale nga wolulon ne bayri ni jikita bunda la ye sembo beta yala wokan wo bunda na da porokosite bari koto ibajela ko foy bunda kuto kuwas so ibajela ko ko min be keri ndebu kam man sa bilemal momo dabulata o kafo kono ibele danyanta o responsibility tala o manke ko min kafo ko mansale make mansamu jamalti mun ani tele dentala bare ni te boda ko kono ate fanam be mine nyini kan silan nyimmin bodan kan ay mine de dan kamma fa laftara kante bondi woto janna kante bondi woto fanam batuma sembe dulali nyini ngambulol bambandi janna ka kammone so wala be caring Gambia already bare system change mala laftala nyadi le ban ngalon ne ko fali wo fali akake kind of graduality falindirol be ke kanne ku jamali bije ka keno kolya quality le bayri ndam malum man tara nyo moy kan bayri Gambiano ko démocratie bare démocratie ka kele miye tol fevo mimbe me fetol fevo doron e ka wajela ko no wonde démocratie andum démocratie dum foy fa follow les son il faut le follow be son na ina long aka kenyami nyindum problème on iba jela bi ni da social media Facebook ika katara good reasoning na debate ibe mojela na ayete because inala kumul man killing so donc nimbe mboko nyi momi moja tun kala ya expect ko form abekel annabiyo multiban ite min na dendam bele nyanta denna o system change sotondino yajen nyindom problem o system change bekeken bara abekela no kende kenyade ne atara ko coalition o tutala form fo janning itola wato ka bank ku jamal bije isa nyo sabanole ya deda ko e futa wato but already wo kande mo do jamalu tinya da woto do mandi mo mimbe jikoto because man safanam ite bela fila ko dolke wol mate baramara wolti because a mallo nala independent ticket la or a party ticket was a coalition. So fire careful, it after ko dolke, it after kumo dolifo, wo bete mari le fasala as opposition because ibe Gambian la attitude le follow study la. Mansa katara silo kane ila mofo se kuke mansa ya muta dorong ite galo na kon na moni aji ya muta boydal hani ay mbadi wala muta ndefana mba konnal so wo attitude be Gambian la woto mansa na mansa na politician fo jotia so need after borrow wo wala the administration now we all system change fulfill I think will be a trouble for him at this moment in tenga de wala nyam. Okay. But system is changing. Bulani min fesiada will be falling can. Yeah.
Kexx if I lebe jelala fa kuma la sot.
Yeah, na keka membo yala this is needed state because I've been for kanjaniara kumola mo wala nyindiko baro is not kodol bije naka be kala to system change la for model si jale la so ndong abe hame kandula do la jem nayo kere ka kamunta so kamunta ko the person is mindful of ala next time la rather than looking at the problems of the country. You'll have a problem to govern this country. To change a system, force model barama, force model itaki dola silokan. But at the end of the day, at that starting point, people will not understand that code. Nimbe menke kampuruntela nafala. But at the later on, they will understand that code. Nimbe menke kaya fole be banko bonda. So you must accept that. But nake kamen for wala nyitiko, you know, nimkodol bije nakabol because political interest. The moment nimbe banko stay ala. And you are thinking of the political interest, like kodol bijete kenola. And about the coalition, either for coalition was intact or it's not intact, it's not an issue and it should not be an excuse. Promo quotas and yardsticks, kodol menya dakate manke. Coalition was not just formed for its sake, and people have to understand that. The coalition was well studied and well drafted documents that brings them together to form a coalition. And they have an agenda to fulfill that agendas. And those agendas are there up to BT Lola. You know, they didn't change them. So the document is there, and with these programs and policies, Gambia system will change that. Okaito kabriba kachalaje moti jeme balantale bego a perfect document. The international partnership bego is a perfect government to lead the Gambia into a transition. Me anga the foundation o lala mole tel mambaro sapu pray leftano lo mole pray bunjama barola doko was to lay a foundation for the Gambia to start afresh. Mole baro tax in Mali. Don't fanga ya kije natara applause that kumba tentulamba jela, but na failure to do that kana atara fundum kudol kono oda atele fanga ya fundum di wol kono. But Gambian mako wala kabiba
babula do ko
yeah kabindel babula do ko lan kala ko paro nga system nga president so jamian ko parti kilinta bondila noda ko nga kafunyo ka momo tambe te nana yo foundation la mole fom pareda ite da founder ta ne election o kon ite boje banko nyo batale ite foundation wala mo fonko but that's what we call press arambaro the alta IEC Gambian has to request IEC Melande Fonkor has his political manifesto. Among a coalition, you have the coalition manifesto, you have the presidential candidate manifesto. Go and read that document. If I understand that, how the agriculture should be run in this country is clearly stated there. How the security service should be done in this country is clearly stated there. How we can bring a new constitution is clearly stated there. How our public service soul will be governed is only clearly stated there. But neither the yajibe document be average. If it is 100%, only 25% is achieved after 4 years. We are going to the 5 years. Because they are not ready for that. Because if they miracle next time, they are not looking at the problem of the country, but they are looking at how they will be elected next time. And the moment president thinks of next time, that you don't develop the country, but you will become individual develop so that those will bring you political capital, will bring you people. Near the Kex's influence, you go against Kexx Noma, influence. So you are not thinking of the state. But by this time today, Bimbafla Gambia has a new constitution. We are moving on. The TRRC Bimbafla say we are done. The president is doing the security reform. By this time, we should not be talking about security reform. When 5 years talk about, because we have a target, and that will basically within the 3 year transition. But in 3 years, what time? 4 years, 5 years, up to be security reform. Last week I was talking to a security officer, and it's just verbally, sir. According to security reform, nothing is happening. The same system is here.
Yeah. Okay.
We are not being empowered. Salary, everything is poor. There's no structures there.
Mr. Jammeh, ñing ko Kexx kany min foten Gambia no ko ñun le atina President Baron tol disappoint la Jammeh ko disappoint la
Binto Kexx kat President Baron la fo President Baron coalition o tole bije and be tell after maralo ke coalition la agreement la ite alla ko coalition o tiñata President Baron be maralo ke Gambia no la constitution la silan atele be maralola iba blame la ni atara ko atol bebe tour no coalition o kono ate saf kan abe coalition o la propose le saf kan why are they particular about these things if we alone the ko coalition o tinyatale why ilaf taitani wasilo la femin tinya reta man tara participate kanje iko nyande tamala wasilo leta botaje ini modem da fe o min na ite nyor tay botaje do nyorta wala ke bota so ibe o system o bitanya dila ko le alale so ngajina
understand wala nan ko coalition la manifesto is there memorandum is there mo fanko ko adama baro fon la manifesto be wala presidential candidate la manifesto kayto membo kono dole fo kande coalition la manifesto because o man sign so nde bugala fika jam better man sign is not a working document because to man bind together and it's not signed, it's not a document man ko mo nyanta rifato because you man songal ni songal no they would have signed it but because of the man songal that's why it was not signed so wala nde bugala fika jam wala ni mo ka fanyo ko emo yung ka man soro because to man sign it doesn't exist. So but Adama Barrow for men somebody Alaji Umar Njaila in the IEC that is his presidential manifesto ndeka wala code nelbo kono wala I will play the Gambia no le kono ale elect nim kayto kono men content mbodo wala kalate ni dato kayto kono jibe na agriculture nyanda ka tama nyama abijere na health sector nyanda ka tama nyama abijere na school sol nyanda ka tama nyama abijere na institutional reform nyanda ka tama nyama abijere the TRRC the CRRC the Jana Commission abebo kayto wala kono so ko wala ko wala ma achieve because we are more concentrated on next time rather than looking at that document melanko that is the agreement between him and the Gambian people remove the coalition
time be min na Kexx TRRC fo abetama kan ne famantama
abetama kan
CRC du
abetama kan wo bantal sadana kan
okay ite sojaro wala police o min nyinin ka fo security reform security reform be alon ne ko te nyapila no aka mbe ngani Gambia lon ne nga fo nyami bibi lala ye mol bidele ba claim kanko ye tale bare man qualification ol soto wala bundal bijele sotaro jela dami ntol be wuluta nyim bankun kanjande yalon nimbe ko tala ngata na Gambian contest la nkana fombe tembe mbe annasara la silo no mala fayla na tambi tol fanambulu yamoy ba nimbe ko kala ngata tol la silo fani na aroni na saratol tatal bibi lala modobe ami kona sanji jel keje ni da ko nyin reform ko dolu ibe wol male be wol sindila iti alne jawle wudu andum ko me nyokanu ka nyim bankunka why kadu moment tambi karamala ato kalbe mon karandika moy mi nyalon ko dunta system on already why atol ma opinion ol di your existing service o mi nyalon ko am ye service o karande ikarandi ko take ikarandi mom Gambia di wallati why do you need to change them for other people why what's the problem that mean be truly the fair banko ala problem o be daming wala banko di wol fawati folota nde fawal fonga folom fawal bo man la fi ye boy moy la mistake ko foye Gambia wala attitude hanni ni mota kita nyola ni kay jindum aba fole fuck off ka foye I am sorry won Gambia no bulu tanoleti Gambia no la kuni wo man futa auto follow so e baje la kon ka wala exercise even on internet alifa bali se tara diamola mfalu se tara kumo kawando kan iba nena social media so wodama Gambia di wonu nyanta muruna koma ye fan korosi follow ba nkana annasara la silolta fa inna hadama ya lutinya ni wonde ka yimbankunde da ni ndemo adamati ni winta nse opposition olta nyekilo ndi minister palato bare mbo wol kala mine dalil kan mbaje ko opposition o mimbe minister palato to abuka ke ko ka ke adama barole nga ke pour nga Gambia deda manda ku kala mimbe adama sabote ka ninga sabote nga Gambia le sabote bar fo opposition dole wo jikol soto ba hani amansia mbega ke ni kam hani pour sente fo ndele buka fault soto modum de annabiyom adam barona la mistakes lo e ñu fanandi la mistakes bare lim ko de ha
ko do ke ma ci foka ni mo Gambia
yeah
be dawri ni Gambia security breakdown be wararing everywhere mol be mol rob la be mol la kodol sunyale be musolu attack la suba mol be fala be mol fala dulalto yimma sakunda do be mine ke kam mol ni security
ayala ni ko reform woni go mankilling
okay
that will be especially benin pandemic min konoteng
mbato de ni ko reform ikoni reform mu falendirol to system on your
reform coming go generally okay reform is okay but don't reform je bunda minna woni benin trends min kono it's a kind of a different patanol bi jele bay reform minute wala nyinti ko APRC jamano President Jammeh wate bijele mi yanko afanam ba fa tutu kanne kaje ko nyimba kum do ya dale wati tambida coup d'état katu kela coup d'état plan oto batum fana la fenke mol min yanko e benna kawa moyla e ben ngani soto lanye so e baja ko hanni ndala army selection o kele ni dada army NILBJ ke investigate from correctly ila iwuta muntole comme wo case crew screen very well sa wo be keda so e baja ko wo kamfa wo do bijele mo do tada e 40 dolti wole rankol sotete wo kenal keda janne e baja la nim bota wol ko sai ko pour ka ko beta saratoli ya fo nyami sarato ya sambanyam wolum nyinti sai moy bina mum procedures le nde even paramilitary selection the first batch no fanankele data almost up to the training level ngam fonyo because of na certain foul place min jeje ngam fonyo manda training on yes because ngalo nim continue nde kol jela minte diala nye asita kenye mantoroti wala na family manna ta training dula kote so ibaje la ko ni wo kenyali ko say nada democracy la kono democracy dum even ya la time believe me democracy bijanne the rate may be lower to the molla geroto because in democracy tije ate boyla carte fayor ntida carte fayor ku jamal bije democracy lesam but democracy ka rate le very good what I'm always even advising the present regime is democracy iba rate lade Gambia near Taraya Samba 50 try and bring it to 75 never be ambitious to bring it to 100 it won't be possible that conflict may bring a problem in our society because democracy more la philosophy but ntolma nyantala do ngafo ko democracy la do wala muntate mbe wala tar bar fo am fa parendi wo democracy la ba ñinon ko mod wala na min ke ngam fo Kexx ntolbe dami bibi lala nyanta duma la parendi la bara ko itoli wo ko wale ibakanne duma la nyanta parela ka Gambia dindi wala kan na dindi wala kulu democracy la daji ko la bari be mu tamalal ki ngaje la jana democracy kulu si banku di wala bari jan democracy ya miral doron nyanta ko kela diata nye andi nyanta kula kela
ha bar ko doke nke nyanta security min
mbe fudaka wolto nka ni democracy Kenya yalbay min foko Coralia understand Coralia understand ni na da gibe kabiri ko keda ibajala security for min security comme ibe nitam tamalade yalla ko comme gorgum bugole ka wol min foko mo kurwollo but hada madimo I side effect sotole I disadvantage or advantage sotole gorgum bubla operation was super but human rights kagel ko nyinka minke wonte but say minuka ke dum form human rights le diba gorgila time wol limited but etema ko modol bije wol ses at from set nole because he is an obstacle to them yajel is that another story that come. But system of the leadership should be strong enough to determine it can marry me blame and a side bad part another good side benyadile niya bondije abe banko de tinyala nyadile niya tuje abe banko de dala nyadile kunun ko jam mo fanka palmarima ma fangola nim fitiro e tarje moto nyo sabaro min katarje mon katara lorinje ka mobile chakudu musunkudol bul sakona bi sonde comme saturday evening mol kata badal to nyan ko si ka dinno wol jol ka nganya mobile da ko le ngol lella bayna to tamalal bi jalbe mobile kendol kile na you know so ma jela ko security la trade wo mino nada sembo warandi fon wolomu tourism mo jama be wosene Gambia area ila balwo be tourism leto
okay
tourism ila balwo be wolato so what tourism la sector inata jibe ko woni man tara takan kotake mo jellom biri last match for b just 1 year
police NPP pick up all soto barantola police mam han pick up all soto imam facility soto me alon ko nyanta wala nyanta banko ma koyla.
No, it will be so unfair nalka ofo.
Okay.
Is so unfair. Party nala line long government administration nala nalo. You have the Ministry of Interior.
Okay.
That is security officers. Every year budget lekada parliament coming approve. What is the Interior Minister doing? Ayalon ko wala ti alnako nakotu moto table wala banjunu moto table security there inita moto lale. Why am I work put forward put salon ko isewo moto sotono. NPP tetarla siri. If an opposition party can buy a vehicle for themselves, what of a ruling party?
Okay.
Despite so when Nanya bondi nyola kuoka wolto Gambia la party right now, the big parties, especially UDP and NPP, they are all bluffing. Can you bluff? It totally relentless on that kavonga ntolta moto mina netol nama moto sanna ita be hameribe banku min baraka ya security jabe tinyal mina ne mela moto ta janni ka ke pati moto ti imadi security la kadu banku mbele kanyanda ji ha so ibaje ko wonman ke kumoti banku la budget wala be lari min be lori security. If there is need for a vehicle, I think if I am the opposition leaders, I will go straight to the security man or the Minister of Interior. Look, what's the problem? I want it done, or I will go to the papers and I will claim what you are doing is wrong. Because there is a budget for Minister of Interior or Minister of Defense. Why are they not doing that? I won't blame the president for that. President will budget over some parliament. First time in the history of Gambia. So that's even democracy. So here, yeah.
Sane.
Yeah.
Sane insecurity womo Gambian or la do kole and ngakoto kemo la info ete mine for security la koto ba Gambian no bele den tanya security la issue.
Yeah, akumaya battle yalong ne banko inherit force the government of Kexx permanent inyanda banko mudale yes yajibe what type of country do you inherit and nga security reform for jang ate he wanna take it to direction of kafoko courier mol bonding system or kono that is not what is the coalition manifesto not at read adambano it's not kamul mudaket them because there is no access budget banko dingo banko la responsibility to provide service for you. So on coming for the reform what were the 4 years of security and what were their shortcomings. Maybe maybe a cool guy by the marine in Luale Bamuda, Manchester Babunda, because this Adam Barona already Minister of Interior, Kamol Bonde security, the Multajala Luale Bonde, Adam Baro and Baye, or the Minister of Interior and Bonde. But the Bayako Momo like TRR Simen Bidakan, if you are mentioned there for TRR Sila Doko Beba and they found that you are not appropriate for that thing. By the way, for whatever. But the problem, you must study the security itself to understand that what we are the loopholes. Why do we even go to the impasse? If we have a very good security here, Gambia should not have even gone to what we call the impasse. Because the Banco do the president Balanta, and there's a contradiction between the president of Vilo and the constitutional security. Like you must step down.
But we have to wait for the foreign powers to treat the president right. Even though our security apparatus sold, because Jammeh left this country before ECOWAS Minan and Jam. And they have some of the securities were loyal to the constitution rather than loyal to Jammeh. And we were almost because of the role they played. But first we understand what led us to that. What was the failure? Because security reformer understand what is the dictate of the constitution. You talk to a security officer, I might understand election when should the president come in and when should the term of the other president be bound. So people must be understand education wise to understand the institution, the documents that is governing them. Ninil be police acting security liakaram for to understand them. Then police will be because the act is very clear. Hanata more from like BTO like content that I want the more on the police officers come there say way and can arrest them. But you see people can quite ye to ye just ye muda ye handcuff. Because of people are not educated to know the role of a security. They are there to render service to the state. It is more from handcuff la pona insist to arrest or to police station. That is the time you should handcuff. But Janabe do Pam ya to locus like handcuff for bab local. Because of the orientation of the people, so for more can reform requires education the security officer to educate them to understand what entails security itself. What do you mean by security? And this is what is lacking in this country. Number two, Fana, you have to study what are the danger zones of the country. Why are all these problems happening? Then you identify it, then you will come with a solution to tackle all these issues. But even look at the borders of this country. I just left a tour with the National Assembly member for trade, a National Assembly committee for trade. We toured the entire border of this country from Amdallah up to the last border to Karton. But you find out that there are unidentified entry points in this country, Melalanko, security TJ, but there are entry points, Melalanko, Molka Dunje. You look at immigration here, $BT. Immigration in other Banjun headquarters, you go to the immigration. Vast majority of the immigration officers will be timparim Banjun ne Pambut, Mundo Kulebe Banjun. Security law work, immigration law work is the movement of people inside and outside the country. That is their role. But neither Brikamaba or neither Bansam. You find out only 6 security immigration officers are in the entire of Brikamaba place. And Brikamaba post cover from Makati up to Brikamaba, beyond Brikamaba. You have 6 officers. They have the office. So 6 and 3 will stay in the office. 2 will be maybe one border, 1 point down. Then where are the rest? So you leave people to enter in the country house. They can be criminals. They can be rebels. You even come here in the combos here. You have thousands of paramilitaries all dumped in combo here. But you go to our Janjambura, look at the crime. Just last week I heard that you go to Kudam. 3 people were killed by somebody unidentified person. He just come to the village and kill this person today and go. Tomorrow he come and kill another person. Day after tomorrow he go and kill another person. You go to Wulde.
A serial killer.
And yes, people enter in their countries and take the entire cattle of an individual and go with it to another country. It's loophole of security because we don't sit down and study what type of country do we inherit, what were the shortcomings, what were the problems. Then we will develop a policies and program that will make sure that these things are there for us. But when I go to Banjul, I look at that, you see immigration officer rotating in the street from 8 a.m. to 2 because they have nothing to do. They are all jammed back at one place. Call the ID card office or you have the passport office. When those are digital machines that you just need few people to be there. Let them be at the border posts to look at who is coming into the country, who is living outside the country. How is that person secure to go moving from Gambia to another place? But you have thousands of unidentified border posts. There are open people come in and out of this country. You can't do border posts. All these things are security issues. That's why the crime rate is high because you don't know who is coming in the country. But if the immigrations are open, they will know when did A come into the country, when did he go out into the country. You can monitor those people. If there are crimes, you could know them. You can even surveillance them to find out who is these people. If you don't trust the person, then you put a security alert on him to know who is this person, why he's in this country for at least 1 week or 2 weeks. But because of the failure of the government to put on those structures in place, because everybody is interested in how I will become the next president of this country. And the moment you are a president, you think of the next time, you will never develop a country. Know that you are given a tax of 5 years and you must do that thing. Then your work will give the verdict of the Gambian people whether they should entrust you to run the affairs of the country for the next 5 years. That's left the Gambian people to decide, and that will be examined by the work that you have done for the Gambian people to see it visibly. They say that, okay, Adama Barrow has done A and B and C, Halifa Sallah or Sidi Jara has done A, B and C, or Usman Silla has done, or Usainu Dabo has done B. We must give him another chance to continue what he has started. But it's not about, concentrating on bringing people. Okay, Kexx is very influenced. Let me have him in my camp. I give him one pickup so that he will mobilize other people. That is not the role of a sitting government. It is not time for politics. Gambia must be serious. We must be serious that we have a country that failed for 54 years. When I look at my country, I want to cry because we have failed to build a country that our children can be proud of. This is the sympathy of our country. People are born in poor, they die in poverty. This is the problem we have. People are just personal interest. Nobody has the interest of this country. And our children will inherit a bad government. And it will be the failure of every Gambian if our children inherit a bad government that we inherited. We must be ready to change this country for good. It is time for Gambian people to know that we have a country to save. Let's remove politics and look at the interests of this country for our collective goods.
Thank you, brother. He get emotional. Anio Kuyata, thank you, Kexx. Kodoge, hold on. Jammeh.
Yeah.
Yakachamo le Kexx fan yo Kuyata.
Wolomu, Kexx ka security frontier minfo. Manum fire tala into accounts the geographical location of Gambia, Senegal kono. Yalum foyo koros. Gambia la lonya Senegal kono assemble Gambia la pour que Gambia la border be control. Ndenga wolo na koitan. Wayde ngalon ko Gambia la sate dolu ini Senegal sareti silo le be tema. Iba fala sate kar angale o sate kilo isa fa karadola France. So iba jela ko pour immigration you will control no. We have to be realistic. I know he has a genuine debate, but Anyenta Jibela, one Nankafo, Konino Jibela, don't read too much of books. The reality on the ground, sometimes, know that. It takes time.
Because Naboda is the problem.
Fighting because not a call, Molle Kadum Bangkoka. Because mo kurumo do kana Bangkoka nim fembu kana. For instance, behavior minke da sanyang. Alman tankala nyola. Fon minke min tata sunyarola. Akaduno le ka akado ko le ke fila ni abina gamnya nya de mo malano wonya da kuriala. But maybe all time on ala kurumo bayri sotonim follow. Kurumo ndio ko fila atoka do ko ke isaje sinyakele sapona ni teketa mafe malati. So nika mafe ma ite ko do min so de obedomo o kano kono nyeman soto fonyo siada ba kono ite be dami labo e mon centro so at the end wo gundi minato wo bina je wato minna manna kuriya intention na but because of ana ma fewolu atata at the end nyeman soto dula be jari atata dun sunyar ko kono fay ku ko denke wo sifal be keri okay ni naga jibe nyimbi si sunyalu at the time of Yaya Jammeh, of course akela nu kadunda faorel babul balabo ni sol be bandantol bul but labo la be na stop le a stop kanyamin itoli along ye kanyamin in their way. But Gambia now, because we choose democracy, it has to be a process. Maybe this time will be difficult, but I am very much sure if the man is given another chance, surely he knows what he's doing. I trusted him purely billahi. If he is supported, he's a good listener. He is a very good listener. The Gambia is so small that Ningala Moinola, Nson Yaton ko, Nkala Yamaro Moy, Akana Yamaro Ta, Market Modo Kon Nantea Kama, Banko Imbitala. All Nankafo do always theoretically superb. But practically, aka failure sotole in our Gambian contest. This is the fact. You cannot deny that. Because now the call, ikadu moy kadum banko kan dula do tole. Ibuka long. Nalo ko Gambia momo immigration sort of security ka Gambia in Senegal la border be butano momo Gambia long ya long kendek antije
Mr. Jammeh konoke Gambian olbe Senegal la ko complain kam bakel on the ground woni man sakundala relationship o fatatal atata to a point ngamoy fan na honorable la miniketa na Fabakar Tombon Jata honorable Fabakar Tombon Jata ko nimman singolo nga nyaayele lumbe sila mamaringol is a gorilla fight ke pour kan sovereignty tanang Senegal honorable boy fadi fana Independence Day afana safero kaytandi ko nyanta akelan na suloleti because we are losing to Senegal sai Senegalel fana minwe banko kan kote wala fana sai ibe mantora kan
sai be minna example killing dinna be specific, please. Because one was just a criminal at law, but Muntolam Kotek, Lafta Wallona.
Senegalel be banko kan timbal ta molu bulle. Iben na ba ko ibenyel yonkole bita and nin toltate tolla water store e kan tolo mutale. Ye dindi wo mutajele 16-year-old. But Senegalais ngolu bulala woli e free. Wujama be keri Senegalel dunta nang frontiero la ma fa le funding ke suta singot and ye do fana inate ye do fana bainda dunta na Gambia banko kan Gambia nolem inate yo fana mutaje yo sanan samba ya sut ya murundi se so Senegal la taman sero Gambia no la ketan fana be de kole
Binto yalo always kumo ikala both sides le jibe yalo nyindi bal fana bijele minanko e banko fulolu walindi Gambia among timber sort of anymore, especially those areas. Senegal is very strict with Ninkeni Cool. Because mina feeling sort of call, Minuga Keno Wafia, because I told them in Kelekanya, one rebellion. So right now, what new worker Keno Teulo Kono, Gambia no Katarasi or borderline auto, Nimboka Keno Tana Yulo Kono transport yena. Along Gambia for a Senegal, Gambia Betema. Minta special pour ka ko do kanake hani bi kenol be sa kan container despite Gambia la international wo kenol ka transport Gambia jana do into containers hani bi how many containers are going out of this country so imagine ko ndolni ta Senegal la security wise we cannot neglect them imagine mo mine sunyaro ke bank to in Bana Nada Kambente ni tema, mbol sotola nolaba, o molte mutala no that easily. So kuya dunia kono ala such effects begin. So imagine we certain sutiatal so much that frontier to sila mahakil tulad. Frontier ni mobesin. Because iti alna ko mkata nin keno min chenge. Amam bona banko kantande. Why it down blato ka keno? Because keno is money. It's like drug now. It's too expensive. So akajana moleku so mansala nyada special story kela kola ibe ko handula nyade because min Gambia mansa kunda ka man nafi ko minna naka Senegal ko lije ikata kanaka ku ke abe Gambia mansa kunda kam falal so Senegal mansa kunda man nafi keni boy kola but ma bondino bi ka keno yolendini kabondi Casamas ka ndina Gambia so what a main problem on there are certain things it will manya Senegal of course but because it's a more binding of a malon from Dundala area to maybe but let us take this critically now hakinotu it alone nebe to babudule Monica ko dolbe sula rignola bakele Gambia Senegal Guinea Bissau nyanta ko tala nge beke mbus killing kono that does not mean ni donne binante sembo tala bare foma kamben wala be nyim bandi sifa ko kelano ndefi dala no ngam wala loi violate Senegal nim boro na bari frontiere lo ngadu njoro ndem madore ko imagine ata manna bankoka and you all know what you are doing is pure illegal is pure ninkene ko if anyone to take my advice mansakunda na wala follow ban completely importation of this keno and then can stop completely. Did I stop the problem about the frontier?
Okay, hold on, okay. Binto Bantaba community, we have changed the time. back to the previous time because my time here changed. Ndela time changed, so ndeka streaming kaja 1 o'clock le. So mbemurun kang 5 o'clock Gambia time, but no announcement, okay? Instead of 6, ngajela ko dolu fana later la kadunang. Atolu mini later nga special guest all le sotajan na kotoke min kata Lamin Jamba Jammeh. Wala nimbijang na be continue la kachala le na brother Kexx na kacha tatale fo mbe sunuta ba ndolga Kexx wol mo Gambia no be la kanolo ne bankoe. So Kexx, we are saying sorry, mbafule sorry, but hanisai mbe do kole la fala ika nyimin ketal ka fintina ning Gambian ol communicate Gambian ol fon be siri bal message kan all the time. So now ben na page auto please ali like ali Facebook or ali follow because sometimes lately puri finance ko we are up so man be connect kan Gambia nal be fe YouTube ali subscribe be kachanyin continent la baram bina Kexx blalale. So Kexx lafta ite ye in Senegal relationship or iftenka then ye na wrap up with na PDOIS ndolning koto kenyimbe continue la mbelaino elala for maybe few calls.
Very good, man. Over there about it because not meeting on the phone so that
yeah, yeah, meeting on the so left ye reflect nyin kandorong yeta ya fontoli PDOIS ye mum plan so right now pro ka mol sot.
Yeah, but before bit it is important to Kumodol Senandi Nyomajam because another brother was talking about issue of border and I it's difficult for Gambia because Banco Dol BJ issue the other Nyola or Gambia Senegal Dunta Nyola Puria identify. That has been the failure. You know, we have what we call colonial borders since the inception of this country, and those documents are still available that go. France in 1889, France named both Angleterre sit down, they agree that this is the Gambia and this is Senegal. And there are borderlines that were drawn. But from Jawara to Jammeh up to today, we could not identify what belongs to our country, which is a failure from the First Republic to the Third Republic. Your first task is to identify what belongs to you as a nation. Because if not, we will have a problem. Because if you look at even our draft constitution, the issue of the citizenship, if we fail to identify our borders, we will keep people that are stateless, because they claim to be Gambia, that's where they know, but maybe they are sitting in a border place where you have 2 alcalos. You know, it's happening in this country. You have 1 village, 2 alcalos. The other alcalo is in the other part of Senegal and the other part is in the other part of Gambia. This has been a failure. A serious government, when it comes to Gambia, you should first identify what belongs to our country. Your first step is to identify our border. Sit with the Senegalese authority or another part in that. This is, according to our map, the colonial masters. The documents are available. And I can even produce them, I read them, I saw them. The colonial master in 1880, when they draft the borders of both Senegal and Gambia. But because of the failure of our governments from Jawara to Jammeh up to now, you could see that Senegal are even pushing, like Biden, if you ask people, even Kaulak and the other parts, we are part of the Gambia. But
okay, Kexx poster. It's coming back.
Who can make sure that they secure our border? Are you getting me?
Yeah,
this is
you are now.
So the government must, yes, government must force.
Okay. Kodoge.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Identify what belongs to our country by identifying our borders first. That should be the task of any serious government that come after Barrow, to identify what belongs to us. And number 2, now my brother talks about there is no timber. Go to Nyamina, go to Jara. All the timbers, we have these timbers in this country. There are plenty here. Just day before yesterday, I was talking to this guy, you know. I spoke to the Minister of Forestry. Because I went to a tour with the people and I found out thousands of our woodlots were parked at a border place, waiting to be transferred to the greater Banjul area. When we know that this importation of these timbers are banned because they are destroying our forests. This is why we have so many disasters all the time. So I spoke to the minister, I showed him the picture, I give him the picture, and I give him the location where it is. Because it is our responsibility as every person to make sure that what the law says we all abide by it, either by giving the information to the relevant authority irrespective of our political affiliation. And the minister is hearing me. I went and meet him and we sit down, I show him everything. Because now what they do is now they will cut it into a small length. They will say that it's for firewood purposes, but actually they are importing it. They will not now cut the long ones of 2 meter, 3 meter, but they will cut it to even less than 1 meter or less than 1 meter or by centimeters, and they just pack them and they say it's for firewood purposes. But actually they are exporting it outside the country. And those people are making millions. Why the country that is generating those timbers, we don't have nothing.
Not earning anything.
Anything absolutely from it. So we have to do this. So we have timbers. They are here. I know forests that they are all red timbers. And if you want, I can take it back. So it's not only Senegal that is happening. So if the Senegalese authorities are telling all timbers that are moving from Fonye and to Casamas, from the Jaras to the Kians are all from Casamas, it's not true. And it's the role of the government to investigate what those things are because they are denying us something. Senegalese authorities are seizing it when it's from the Gambian territory, taking it back to Senegal. Because if they do this, they definitely take it back. They import it back to Senegal. When they see it, they will pack it there and they take it to Senegal when it is Gambian property. And all this is lack of security to find out what belongs to the country. So we have timbers and we should. And number 2, he talks about the product. It is the responsibility of every sitting government. Go to chapter 1 of our constitution. The role of a government is to promote and protect the citizens. And any government that cannot do that is not fit to govern. That is the law in our constitution. So when you come here, your first step is to protect and promote the welfare of the citizens. And if you are giving us an excuse, then your government is not fit to govern. You should leave, know that you cannot fulfill the promise that the reason why you are elected to serve the Gambian people. That's your role. Protection is number 1. The lives and the properties of your citizens. But if your citizens start to be killed, and nothing comes out of citizens start to, disappear and their properties are not protected, that government is not fit to govern. If they cannot provide the social service for the people, the welfare of the people, that government is not fit to govern, should leave. Should honorably say that I cannot do this. But all these things are not being provided in this country. And what he talks about the security agreement, it is between the ECOWAS protocol that, if a criminal enter in the Gambia and the Senegalese authorities are chasing him, they have the right to chase him up to 300 kilometers inside the Gambia or more than that, or 10 kilometers inside. That's part of the agreement. So for him saying that, Senegalese authority might chase him, you enter in the Gambia, you do bad things, it is in the ECOWAS agreement. You can chase the person up to 10 kilometers in the Gambia. But if you reach the 10 kilometers, now we call the Gambian authority to have what we call joint security to make sure that you chase that criminal. So the documents are there. The agreements are there. It's just the manpower and give the security apparatus the instrument that they need. The last time the securities had become about, they went, they have an information, a criminal somewhere else with guns. They went there and they were overcome by the criminal. They need just a simple communication to talk to the barra so that they will have an enforcement team. But there's no communication. State is not providing even the facilities to do their work. There's no communication set, like if you are in emergency and you need a backup, you cannot even communicate to your people, men on the ground. How can we have security? No motivation in terms of security apparatus in this country. Simple communication set. If you cannot tell the GSM operators to open up their coverages to other parts, at least give them communication set that can communicate 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, walkie-talkies. They are available. So you don't expect those people to think of their own life than protecting themselves, than protecting the state. You will not take the risk to go to other border areas because you have no protected gears to protect yourself at the first place. So we must have a serious government that will sit down and study the type of government it's inherited. What are the problems? Then you develop a plan, what we call the short term, the medium term, and the long term. You cannot solve all the problems, but you must have a development plan. You say that, okay, for the first 5 years or for the first 2 years, this is my short term plan, and I must achieve this. Then from 2 years to 3 years, this is my medium plan. Then 5 years to 6 years, this is my plan. But government people just come, they have no plan, they just sit down, politicking. That will never move. And this is why for 54 years, we are not proud of the country that we have called the Gambia, because we don't sit down and study the problems of the country and come with the solutions of the problems.
I want you, thank you. I want you to wrap up. Thank you, Kexx. Thank you. I want you to wrap up and go on to your meeting. Mina Kexx Blalabe, one word deal about ala doy kafo Pati astaghfirullah Pati wrap up. You can wrap up now. Ngamuta Jambakel.
Well, thank you very much, Binto. I'm calling on all the young people. My emphasis is always on the young people. We have all rights. That is our constitutional right to belong to a political party of your choice. But let us not be a blind follower. Let's sit down and listen to all the political parties. That's why it is a requirement for all political parties to have what we call the manifesto, to tell us how they want to govern this country. And it is our duty for the young people to sit down and study that document and examine those documents. We have seen all the political parties have conducted their Congress here. None of those political parties came with a manifesto to tell us that this is our document, this is how we want to govern us. But you see, young people are supporting those people. What are you supporting? On which base are you supporting them? Is it because of the individual? Because the party must convince you with a policy and program. And if you are convinced with that policies and program, you must support. I see people who just come to the play, you create a political party, and you have 1,000 people are following you without even having a constitution, talk less of a manifesto to tell us how you are. How are you following? Are you following that person because he is your friend or is your brother's friend? That means people must do a politic of policies and programs. For the battle of the 21st century is the battle of policies and programs. This is the only way that will save this country. Let's follow people. Let's engage our political leaders to convince us that this is how they want to govern it. And we have our 5 common sense to sit down and think whether this is the solution of the country. And both based on those policies and programs, not the personality of the person. Not because the person is my uncle, not the person is my brother. Because let us be honest to yourself. If you have your brother in your house and the person is a thief, he's not good. You will not give him even your single budu to hold it for you. So that is how a state should be entrusted to. If you cannot trust your own brother because he's a thief, you will not entrust him with the wealth of this country. With your wealth, then you should not entrust somebody whom you don't trust with the wealth of the state. You must examine that person, his public life, his engagement with the people, the policies, and entrust him because you are giving him the national coffers to control at his liberty for your own welfare. So that person must be interrogated. That person, you must know all his life, whether this person means it. But Gambian people blindly follow, and we must move that if we want a better Gambia for our young people, for our children to inherit a Gambia. If we fail 2021, we fail to elect a person that will promote our general welfare, let us not blame any president again. Because we have seen it that we have the power to remove any government from power and put the right person there through our voters card. And we have done it by removing the most powerful person in this land, that's Jammeh. Then that means that any failure we have now, let us point our fingers to ourselves that we have failed our citizens' responsibility to elect the right person to represent us for the general welfare of us. Let nobody blame any president. Let's blame ourselves that we, the citizens, have failed to put the right person in the office. Thank you very much.
Whoa, thank you. We will bring you back, but you know, we will always come and get you. Ninga contact wati. Buka han 1 minute waste fang. But Jammeh sane bita, mbabulala bita ya. Kexx is gone, but Jammeh will continue up just for a few minutes. Then ngana line oyanali alna kacha Jammeh.
Yes, ma.
Jammeh Kexx fele ngabula because lafta near time in this spend ngamo ila kacha starting dula biringa dati iko atole NPP lo.
Yeah.
Yo, so lafta en tamandu watari koloto biri bota APRC sai atol nata MPP lo no nyadi.
NPP ala lo dalilo ketaminti bayri be alon ko Adama Barrow ninji kibala no wamu UDP latino abe ko nin ala kariya be continue la ani UDP le betar la kulun kile anu UDP dum fanan ay wo jiko soto je bakel bare birin ko nata fata adena la kafolum fontul nata ngawo kafol taraje nada tandi ko pour silang ka patiolo bal patio min be lola ate kala Adam Barrow la patioti ngawo ko indi nyola because nga korosiro kele region fulolu minu be tambita ni president o bota je doron patio kam mo kilin neje won president no president bota je doron patio nyin ka fale so ngombe South Africa la ANC system o be wala tala this time Adama wala bije bare nin more data ning adama bubolaje bari ngalo ne ko ka system o min bayndi man sali be wato les hapo les sotola ni wo wato si da foy boje kodi so e baje la ko NPP fanam betala mo parendi kamale ndolning adama be kaje ko wo mari selono NPP patio e
okay
so e baje la ko patio la lo kan keta wo dalilo la kamba so adama tante NPP NPP ni ajibe abota patio leto mini alon ko UDP APRC aning GDC ñille NPP form wala NPP form so ibangela ko tonya mol minu be UDP so still wol ke fanjela komin ko ntollenga adama keje but ndeka jel ko okay mbota to la sila we talking about NPP as a party because dole adama keje wol hayna UDP dole adama keje wol hayna PDOIS so the story of ndollenga adama keje woti je kodake NPP focus la minkan wala muka NPP iba lola nyade ay ke patio yeah so no ka kambe wolke do ate diala nak because ndemu nyankaro e ka fo mi kanku walo ngame yalonde nyankar bali mi
nyankar bali
ndemu kanku walo ti APRC yena modo bondi GDC wo mu kanku walo ti ye modo bondi UDP wo mu kanku walo e ko alnabe so ba de ko no so wala na nimol ka diamu ka fo malum mimbe kerimba mo be ñun le benta so pour que won tan pour que siti julu boro kilo ba abu wato talal so wala dinna we are pushing also an agenda which comes as Barrow 2021 despite your political feelings you have the view ko let's give this man a second chance because
okay kodo ke mbatunga line ele because malla fike mutajang any more longer ini Gambia no le kachan kola sotole atol min be jibe rola number be duma je +1 678 390 0539 as usual lafta abeko hormone mbunyati na koto kele bijanga Kexx blala tata Kexx ye meeting wala soto a roster wallet night time min fanga jama bale sunya ko to but na broda bijana min kata Lamin Jamba Jammeh atabe NPP le kodo ke kola be line auto hello kola maaleykum salam kodo ke kama
ntelemo Lamin hedralem milanoto bismillah okay be Lamin kontona memon tomate men nata NPP to yala yo be sane fanan kontona sane balama kumbali fing ba kontona bake yo Binto nge tento nge jay to sila programo diata ambenu kluwoni famajio ka wato di molla yibe la nyanto fo is very democratic okay programo ni men fon be tableau kan ndala diamo bina bake dam wala mo sane la bundati bawo nimmoy muruba sika ake wala ni de defense bala e buka tabla so faya ata ko to sanabi ay fama me ya lon ka ta sino la fay wuli okay ni na ta Gambia jube Gambia mo problem molati Gambia no maro mandia jamano kampi ninko nyanta na tanko nim bundalu soje kantar bundal tankalale nyantan na polisol makoel banko diwul la famu polisol ti to lanyantan na mansa kunda makoel to banko dingol bal nintol fonkedan na polisol discourage ndati do kola fo mokruli nyaay dum bankola banko ding ibe nyanta lola la yela security li mako ibe makoel nyaadi le with information ole bank ifanan be la tayla kata ko le kel pour kuruya ko kana dunno banko kan to be to banko kan jane be ka jël fabul ka tamele banko kan nyame ikela luwa bunya le ya horoma yela mansal kantar la le fana horoma ye bunya ye luwa ni fana horoma ya bunya ko Gambia no le so nyinela ngana luwa men nga landinga tamala ngana kantar la men yalan ko kadnan to kasino ngol horoma nge bunya kon to la kan ñu jo ibe loru nye banta ibe niyo la ibe banta so nyante wol horoma la nge bunya ngabule la kanomo but nim fonu ketol doya lati society kono fonu ketol wanya lati society kono fonu ketol ku fiala ndi society kono mo koton kensol nyaabe dunnan na tanko bundala le anda kana munel laban akana na maral nya jawoni tinkola yala dunde banko kan amalen kisawat
amen
yaje number 2 eka system change men foten system mo be change lale but system mo bukana load la killing ayma boom I change automatically 22 years in the Gambia and for 54 years the Gambia membe tinyata no bete kenola in 10 years kono membe tonya fala nyoy ninata German Hitler mantoro men ke jang bira boto ye atadala sanje mo fo sanje tanzaba janni be fan soto so Gambia mo bankulet me yalon ko fembuka de dano je tembuka keno Gambian tol be jikirim bantal la fo be kabono bantal or nin laftan na call stabilize la ninna man sakunda nation le be kafla nyoma ngam blodi nyola nga fenke bang isaje na banko siruwano ngabo fitino kono ngabo nyo kelendo kono ngabo nyo tinya kono ngabo political harassment nyin kono nga tilisilo la banga banko doku man sakunda men nata be siring in the coalition government nam nin nata jube tonyala silola ala hakatu dem be time mo domon din talale ya famle be coalition government ngolo set up ka londe pour nyin kam ka ko stabilize and ko dum bita kanne imam bang ko ta fono loko be nyine kala science hani fongo ko be sambe ye tuben birin ki islamo nata islamo me dunia bele democratic sabatindi lord la killing amanna bibi la don ay ka pam 3 years in the ground ala yo ko kilay sanji sababe duma فدرها كويت ما كاي فصدا بما تؤمر وعارض عن المشركين ntolum islam banko lati ntol mo kulu banko ntol mo daji ka tiyo lati ntol mo banko horoma ma ballati ntol lo kulu wala nyata tara kulu bo ko nyata tara kulu wala kan anim famma joni nyobunya ne yoromo ntol man tinyaro long mune ben dun tinyaro kono ko demokrasi samana momo yela nyanto soto sila dia nyoko fono imam mo ne man kuma jawfe man bula man sa kasida isi mo kilindino silola pantul ngaka ginati ko men diyata nyambola kala man sata kuno la je wala ini membe je ko Lamin en même fo jalli bako korali democracy understand ni mulle sinote Gambia be nyanta murale bang nganda democracy juben to bita ka nyame aninga tana men bul bita ka nyame fosila kilimula ma fosila kilimula
thank you
number 3 sorry number 1 minute dinner sorry number 3 sanaka damen for about the socialism ina da socialism jube socialism ay men for ay bunda dol to komale dunya ka balunu socialism lala hantu abul ka balu social lala o Gambia be socialism welcome no la nyaadla ka dundin na banko kan anata num tumo menna o tumo politiko be kuma skan tumo menna meye bara so ke je wole socialism fa Gambia o manke ko Adam Barrow man sakundale o followed la bin force republic lala second republic nata wol ma welcome la mumeke nin tat republic men nata ntol ba fola PDOIS ko al babu maftuhu lakum ta'alu na'mal baduna ala bad ba fola PDOIS ko le ko bundal bebe yelle ngal yen annan nal do ko ke banko stabilize be kontan
thank you
bar ni tara le fon e karatando le be wuraten ibe nyumul kam faylaten aka jus bondole kal buka nyomen aldum bunkeling nga kacha bangan na banko united de Gambia mu kordal ta manka bankoti itara jube hambok la warta Gambia amula siata Gambia
thank you okay abaraka mbe kola do tala
thank you so much
thank you honorable Jammeh
yes ma
yo kola ila background on reduce ya kola mo le mina soto be me fola
okay
Aidara sirfo foka temtu doron
kola hold on
ngo foka haidara sirfo tentu ala kumolu ngamra ngawol fo Kexx ye janne ko doy ale kuma fo anyinya betiata bare
hold on kola hold on
ila de manyal le batinna ko pour wo kolye ke
hold on
wo kolye ke no abe kole ala le sirfo ye wolle 5 ans e ka jama min foten kabinin kelo botala
kola hold on
mo kilin ka tara do ko wala le mo tan nin fen ibe sirin sokono ka balu natela yo fundin kelbe sirin sila dal to e ba flako man saman do ko dinna mankete barente fe ni atara ko jaman e system o minge dum ni ko jaman nene dunda kelo ko no lete sonna momo dunda school momo
no tala kola
momo jita
Jammeh hold on ngani kola ta kola diamu na todi mado
nte mo Lamin
jete bir mintinna nin Jammeh la bija
mbe konton na bagela programme ko mara
thank you
programme o diata Gambia ko wala mo fongan den hakilo tamandi Gambia la nyato da banku de bebe dula ka wala suto den tilo ok bare edi melbe je sako Kexx atla diamo ko mata bake ay fannal memma fanna kuma balam yala mi hakilo la ok banko buka tano atana security mantere banko menka
okay
ok entel bebe tuwa budu banko ngalon ko jambe tankare no suto nin tilo banko din le ke la nyanto soto la andi ke la le casino kayro ko tan bu ke soto so ndel la banko ni ya jube be ni suwo fan kuta be mon nin ki jafaro le ke la a manke banko kan security mantere ye fo security banko kan police be faranje tap wa ente lammo nin ki jafaro ke la banko kay buka suuto fo sino fente fo banyo la ko silanya
okay
o ka guya watal de ok barola mansa kunda manke gamenol be kaja feke buke kaja fi la ko tambani nyalo banko mol kontan ali nga to nya ko joy
okay
because ne barola siyo jibe binta sanjilu sa en ko la bayn ma fo doku manke de ba doku o menke da do ya batal
okay
because de baro jibe gadmin ko lahi di ku jamala aya be fele kile mantano silola because the first thing ay lahiri minna wala mun na balu nyanya ta ka sone ale
okay tariya do mande
so okay fo bi ndel la balu ya dum Gambia na balu ya be sonar na famantara sonare
okay
na balu ya mantara sonare ay nga to nya fo nya bi ko nyim banko kam bi mol nin konko le gala nin konko le ka wulo mo nyankela
okay
masakunda be nyim modo sangal min bela nyim modo sangal na faale ay banko saman min tol ebe moto jurma kam banko kay la service mo fa min ngata banko mol tankalol ma moto soto no fo banko be tagan
okay
go diamo dima ranyim banko doku la kuma dima ranyim banko doku la nyim banko be action le kela mo le bule no may banko doku banko dimo le kontan
okay
bare lahi di bata nyim banko doku la li nga nyim banko fali Gambia teleta mo nyim banko
thank you kola mbe kola do tala yam thank you
okay barka ba
hello kola
Hello?
Kola ila volume buke moy de.
Ibuka moy?
Yo sanke moy le domandin todi mado.
Ndala mo Amadou Lam.
Amadou ibri mintinna.
Mbela min kontonna. Ndala fta domandine fola doron comme I could I fendole for the agreed wala.
Okay.
Ako politicianol oppositionol inyanta menkela ni hani baro e palaso di mola je. Ibuka banko la intereso jube. Ikela fansu intereso ikawole push pour baro be faire la nyame amari tambi. Andu wala mu toñadi fana because coalition 2016 ka bring ibe nata ni banko la interest nun tamandino te nun bi nimbe baro fante futala ni baro to futala ni be damen abi jilal nun ka bring 20
Jammeh ka moy
ay sanji sa boso do abi wa tar la abi jila wol bari momo ba push la atebe tambila nyame momo concentrate wala ndebe tala mbe ni baro bota je mbe mase atala nyaadi ye wole ke fo baro fana ya jube ñinu mantara ka Gambia la interest samba fansu interest o ika wolle kelende andu mune a bef koleandi ibe mo di la place wala abe dogo kelal de dogo ni bete ata o man bete ya o man sakunda be tamaga man trata maga amari teresa ya fo nde dogo wala ni man sakunda ko because ibe taka nyame nyinte Gambia sambala na e mari bondije dron ay ta si aka kumol fo molye ni man sakunda mu tenneti ni man sakunda mu shunyaroldi wato men na ibije ita fa yalo ne ko man sakunda ni man sakunda de Gambia sambanola laftata la nyam dame wo wato le nyanta rizana ya fo molye ko nte neni nyilte dogo kala because ikata mandi nyame nyinte Gambia sambanola ye resign
okay
jele molbe lo nako nyin tonya nyin lafta Gambia eta bari be sila je hanni basakunda de Gambia sambanola ye tara je doro fo lumme na ye bay yena fo molye ko ha nyilte sambala ni oke molbe mudala ko nyimbe kam farine because ya bayla ni risanta faye nata iko Gambia no le ko nyinu te Gambia sambano la lafta kata dan
bari ko Gambia no bukare sign brother iko Gambia no bukare sign hana ku kuruma molu chochota Gambia no bukare sign
wala atinam ko ike la fansu interest da man kelendi da mantara Gambia la interest I mantara wala keleka ndela jero
thank you abaraka mbe kola do tala ya
barka
okay mbe one more call dorone tala ngana nin koto ke na finalize ngana ebula koto ke do aka nyobari ngolo met wallahi mbe kacha kumari mballa wala tinna malla fike bulo nyama bar mbine murundi la nanne so you know kola
yes Binto
kola ebiri mintinna
awa Binto mbele Binto kana namo fa wala Binto
tori ma ito fonye kote ke saje ko Jammeh salo nyamal be diam ka
alasana marikole Istanbul
okay bismillah
mbe kondo na bi na isiri mbagele membe kan wala tende yalo ni mena isiri ngebe na isiri mbile bi o kay abaraka alhamdulillah Allah ka tabi diare mbe la wi kondo na bagele
atari yande do man din ke moyel
kachabe kumari mbagere mbe la wi kondo na mbe sane fana kondo na alhamdulillah na Gambia banko kambil bi amiro sombo warata bage wala na sane fa kumbo yo wala mo ko hanabi na daji kolu mpawonyanta na daji kolu falina nga fali nga tilinto nyani anin sobe nga banko doku comme kumala bota fola nyame mo nyanta kela police de and police la nomba nyanta so la mol bulula boral to tare sadal to tare problem membe kering andu mol kara mirako mansakunda nin karamu keta dron mansakunda e wuli ay dun ko parama abuka ke o nyama ko nyanta tala nyamente momo na la lodu la ngone man ngol ko nyaadi te ko ngodi la mola ye ne mbusa bulo te kenola ni mansakunda ye modula le soto dokula le soto ay amarla le soto ay kumala le soto ni ku soto da ni problème kita ol nyanta wulila ye ila simfalta ye la da tamolke ye la dokoke andu fana na police olu fana nga hakiloti woto karabla police la wati be ke krisas wala ka blayla ki doya amanya na kela na police olu be kato la be dogo la be la dogo kata kanne ba agende ba tonya mol ka blayla nyaminto police fana mbuka mo kuru wala miro londe because nim problem ka ke nin kurwa be nte kono nim ba ke ka police to wolonna
natalonna okay yeah thank you problem
ke ko la le mo asena long bari na kita moni yanta police la contact on sata anytime day and night yetra standby rin problem na kita ale police call
comme tuba ite amere nyanta nombal provide la comme jang America jantol ka 911 ne commande muneta ma amere Gambia sai man sakunda nyanta nomba kiline nyin la police olie ite be Gambia dawda nin kuye soto nyanta wo nombal call.
Very good. Anyanta kela wole nyama. So ninko ta kuketa nyamendo comme fire service be nyamde like nim dimba bodo dro iki contact ni boro eta. Police ole fana anyanta kela wole nyama.
Wonomba sifa soto.
Bora to sign ini police so men sutata nyala iso kumande no woni boro eta. Sate ko ba kapitalo to ba bla anyanta kela ay sona hanin sate ko no nim problème kita dro istimo police kumande tariya to isi tangu. Bari moli kanya pin problème le kan nim problème kita nye janning police ole be fatala satra ayekana wala satra yetinyaro minke okay moli
Abaraka, thank you.
Inshallah,
thank you. Jammeh.
Yes.
Jammeh nga ala tentu nyim platform oto nga man satalla tentu atul min fanankali invite ngal tentu call lal kamin invite ani min bela kela time o tai kasijang every Sunday len kanaja. Nga Gambia la kacha ntol Gambia len tol sula nga kollal be tentu bar sañ ya kollal moyle mun kuma le soto be min fola wo kollal e nin jinkandire be je ya mira ko nyanta fenne sembentu yala ya fo jannin be nyin kala last question
ngado moy adeka foko Gambian kol yaron ko monni ba fola fonte because ita fana yalla ko modol bi jele min be adama koma wala Gambian kol wala democracy de dunia dita fay bang be de kala no kankilimo because nin kaduna nin ko ibe develop ibe America minto ngama democrat nin republican on le bota so ibu kan jamaare winda so do kontel and do be fe ko wonna yirwati hadama diya nyanta yirwala nyami wolbe nyami je so kana nyim believe so o belebe NPP kanula bare kana nyim believe so fanan ko NPP fan mo bele ba konna wote so don no Nina da security na fannala sa insan nan America mo man lo anin kido ay mo jelle fa America ko
woga happen jana all the time ama me fantala nta fangala nyin sate to jam akete jam
so woli ben hada madi yalla kono wo America nala wo security be woli ka kenoje Gambia be nyamin ten especially be nyin time min kono koleya ko do fo woli taki so ñin diamla le min fonon ñimu collective responsibility le ikanye masibo ka blato ika moje ka celebrate because ika felt like is the downfall of the regime. That is not nice. Woman can citizenship, a good citizen or la yakar lawti wonte banku diyati ande wala bondila oto yana fam nite moya kana banko tinya fam itete report of futandila relevant authorities la pour ye wol kalamda woto ñantam faw kunula wodani kollela nse na believe ni menete kellok alle feofen da dunia kono ay fulane deda namankate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ate dono kilin woto fanda kawol watini wati se ñoje ñaado ni jama bar wo kala ñimina ko yamra ko itila fanan dorom hani ni kam jibe te kala kurma doron jibe hani ba dembe ma fo ala kurma ate dankola because ite daltere ka kenyalo ala sotaro doronga ni wato be na ka nyama funti dunia kono afa he ni minke ay kenne mark lolo yala kurma fo doron aba acknowledge la but ni na Gambia politics system otinya mbe ka dara pusirin ka nyola fault jibe ka fault ka nyalo oka anu hani na binoto ama wol ma nyinya so yimba ku do ya batale ka yurwandi din denda nyola kana je ko ninja manke mansati ndegin kelana akumasi bunda la fo wol yaje ko ita fanam beta ke kanjele so surwal ka wala fo tabiro na be diala na sera da ka na dia na fanyita ka sera le so ita ni sira wodoro Gambia no man la fi fenkela na manke president na manke ruling franco fay kul tane ko fo seke Dini la coming Kexx ka bundal min fote ni na da jibe bi ni na da Gambia jay ko insurance system o kala jang for health insurance we know that all about in the healthcare better you know that healthcare cannot be free but ni o bula jambini moje le ko ya ko ci tajo e prefer kata fendo sam bayni mal sam bara manke ko atije pour kajo hanni ko momo $30 in a month ma fala man sala nyanta kala so e pa ko Gambia non na dadi ko fani won nyanta parela wala daji ko fani wo doron ni wonten tele la foy hanni Obama sambana ni Gambia jam pour Gambia mara ka sabado Gambian ko ba nennale
so yeah even if follow no Gambian only NPP mi barola kata ko min satinna fo mole carte fay baroy so atutete le bulsa ite ilafta di amla electoral
Binto not mankuto le baroto mi anko he's a good listener nyaton ko ke lamoy ni jam fata le tawa ko moyla akata elondo ni so de nakala bari ni ya mar min aka wala ta goto minati ne te ko atente dole mu doro ndena jel ko NPP philosophy min ba ko no man ke coming baro hani NPP patriotic like any other party men all organized kan kaje ko election min kana NPP ya win to barola maralo benta tembole fi min social media jamanot ide Binto commencé tarano la bo konole ye Gambia beji da information o mi anko the grassroots ni na on the ground ite o tarleje because ila intentional so baro min bala state house a state la moy la bo la se panic o satana tolu do min be grassroots mo wol Kenya je ke wajabundi nyami koy be wala nyama ni na da mo min ka ko akabel ay la lo fali wala dunia ko no bi mbira mine lo mimbe kere nyimbankumbe tukuri agriculture and tourism lela. Let us be frank to ourselves ngalonne hanni atara mansa kote ne bija right now abe mine kelano the moment Gambia man a fawo tankandi de tarandino ka fawo la fengolu deda e kan de min de ta nga si se mole andole kan baraka kay bi nati ka je ko si se ka bonam bandera bankol kan kanaja ni wol man keta do Gambia no nko mansa kunda si se import a stop for 3 months si se kana dum Gambia ko beta ma fu jara do morning tia kere nyankatan do mola for 3 months wo morning Libanese wala India lo minka si se import nam from Brazil, from Holland, from all over the world abajela ko he Gambia fele ni stop and I'm interested to make profit and chicken business is coming a good business so abajela ita poultry kendo lo abe Gambia di wala talaje wala mansa kunda fa do kumasina so abajela wo si se ni a poultry si se kilo jela ka import to this country si se jela ka import ni bankunka how many millions of dollars leti ni bankunka nja so iti amra ko ni atara ko Masakunda 3 months so yes he says stop automatically Gambia ba function she say produce la
about produce
yeah so imagine ko from no na mol mi fanam be bantala bankol kan ya try e kana tara criticizing dorna banko mum be le tati adama manda tula jang adama bitala le ban ni ngi culture ti doro han adama tata ibaje la modo min fanan kana wonna han ako kan jakan le Binto to bije tonya akan jahan dana lo mo adama ka fu nga lollo ban ka na korosile na sutiyal minu kala molo mi anko he is very open because molo be sila ko inde man nyillong dala molo monta buku karawala amanga ko ite la fahamuro warta wotide nyindum ka ke Gambia no mistake balti bayri English kam moy lan wolon karanalti jam yalo modo do karanda do manta karango fa ay min karan Gambia no daji ko to abe siri nyimbangun kan wota le siade tat bare ni tani wo mari benda do ite kala fila ko ite la buku karan way ka wala londo tandi and practically momi yo karan dumala wala nafa wonta Gambian ko lembe intembo minto Gambia be sularen ko lel bare Gambia fa dam mo su nyo saboni hani do nyo sabo kala ate nyinko akela pour mako bare manta kala nyinna ko na president wonte nyindi yinte buketi yinte fendi wala loya dabo aketa ten no ndi atalam ka system change wala nanko an ka fo man sakunda e system change ite min fo be diamuka yela system change leba wala kuma because doesn't mean that ko ni man tara particularly ndo kuma fo do nyanda follow la nen dirol is that
wala tinna nyim platform moto jang nga nyim platform ndimo create ntolu ngana di masini ndima baranga ka horomo nim bunyal to puru ka patiol be invite nanjang nga opinion o soto nga kacha as grassroots you know so wala tinna nge invite baranga tentule nge jay koto ke al nata nyame
ila programme dal nga ala tentuje baki bari nke folole kainka tamala lo nyimbanko la economy be tolle bala bari mbenga lo ne tourism felem fotala ndem tamala alti no Gambian ko tin bari nene man si tubab dude corona fa wala atina bari almost every month ndekata Holland, Germany, Belgium nkata wolto because nka import trading neke so ibanga ko Gambian o mimbe tamadula Seattle bar hani ka ko fa wol min fo dammabe area kili wala ila nyomo buka betea ila ni Senegalais dibeje wol ka nyomo no nyame ka min keno ka keno ila minitile aka kolya ntulla banko be doyari nyame so wala na fo nyomo endo wo man ko min ko president wala foltu mot wo mun bol Gambian ko damat ni be jam itada na sateri wolto fo president wala woto ba president woto de ba tawol taram ko ni nyo sabol ni nyo kajafu nyalla woto banko de dala. We should live as a community. We should live as a small nation. We are blessed. Gambia ala intol sole bari kambe wodorom nin keta no kandoro komi ala yamar minna konnali keta kiliwoti alla ko tukelle be betel ndol mo million fulan ka wala konti eti amra bi be keta kiliwoti ndaga inde fo ngem pekata president woti jam nat kuma fo ku fo be kala minti momo dida grade na ni bita military service lel. Military service does not mean you will start to first kakidify on it. No. It gives discipline.
Discipline.
At least if you have service okay like 3 years, then you can add okudo. Fair ika German will mean for ika China will mean for war German will win. Bidi war kete ya didn't will kuni wadaji kollela. Gambia didn't will be the sharing. Ibe no blame la. Ibu galon juma. So from na woku ngata bad. Bibi na bade kamin foko su Senegal ko le benna badal to hani ni ko Gambia no itaba ko na titala no because I mean karangi but ndim mo sakunda e komi katon kunjuru wala sanyang wala tange e karambum baele je mi anko abuka fen karandige na manke bademo o bademo wonbe o trendo mo banda faade tala sanji kilina doron man say kulu wata wonte peretiti ay kulu ni jalol ni masiwo sa woliye ay adida bare min say ita ba kulu ni masiwata yadi wo la min ya ko ye bade mo wala bare daji ko fali wote la poto wo kulu wol bitala sandi kilin doron ite wollon ne punga dami kade Kexx Senneh ya fo nyami ko e falol ni fengol sam moliye wolle
ye senka waf
yo mo daji ko fali wala tiye woto mbeñan tan denna min nanga ku kinu jibelu bang nga yamari beto tan ye kinna man sakunda moliye ye karangala nin useni dabo lota na diamuta Gambian ko janta jela ko tonya aka Gambia interest le jibe bara fana nyanta lola wato dolu ay adama barola bara kendol sana bari be alon ko hadama di way bulubani maraso bari nin kala moy itol opposition wato wadi to kam mara karol fo ndolke to la lamfo leje bari mbenga alne hadama ni fula so ni ke na kurma fo inse kontani nyimati nam beden tan Gambia banko blessé wono bari hanibi nka janna ko yafo nyawnya nimman zakunda buka kalero ke bunda dolla hanibi mano ntolta soto bari bandala banko dol ba sambale yal andu hanibi ntol ka wala ko lefo ntol buka mano min ka do kuja amasia abe hanibi mo garan kadunde frontière to wolbe gadile ni nada Senegal la ñin tumboro Casamance oda Senegal wolna karam do dinno wol be ka karam Gambia ndol ka ditum na yin Gambia minna oton kala ditum fawla nga ñoom tan wala mun to la kulot Gambia ko nga ñoo kan ibe opposition wo ibe ruling party wo mbele boda kono killing kono nyimbankun kan andum fulanja winti wolam please nkana Senegal je kon jawol Senegal lum Gambia colonial boundaries ndete authenticate la ko wolen tol fatandi ndete sonna do ntol Senegal ni Gambia ndendale Gambia fo ni lom bije Gambia ni Gambia la security lom Senegal Senegal lom tola security ko nimba ko jumale boda sea ando ninga bi fo ko nin Gambia kulu wal tara Senegal ñimi min be ka chalo do ko igani Chinese factory min be de Gambia ja kile buga ne do ko jede ma ba Gambia ba ko fo ñu ni holon ila portion na bida chalo e kata dema dulal min to is far in Senegal Casamance la interior kon ni te badato le kawolo ni be badato le kalo
so ika Chinese sol kanyemuta Senegal jiro kon
Chinese sol wanye kunu Chinese mela tolas foma idea so do barangam de ma ya Chinese sol kamin la nyelsa wol be Senegal molo leti ibe Senegal molo leti wol komin kunu ka tenu chene kafundi wolleto ikatebu la doleto ibagela ko ni tada de molle la balto ikana tena Gambia ila nyewafu ya muru back wala system mobile
kay
wala bida
yeah koto ke fonga murundi nang
inshallah madam
mineno male this environmental kacha because kacha do bije me banno nte bota farabale nga environmental la ko ite bota katon bare time o man so dalilo kam ma obatinal nge murundi nang sila koten ngeten to ngeje yela time minta in ila dimbaya do bulu lungo men buko dimaso kanana e Gambia no le na kacha ntol Binto Banjaba network na platform is open for you. It's open for everybody. Partioli belem ni sula tay message le soto ya fo ko ya fo na manager ko nga kacha kuma le soto lafta ni Gambia no le kacha minna so lafta le invite nga fo Gambia no le ko you can contact you can inbox yanana e dimole kacha yen so hakilo nyi minna ten alama ale nijo alama hakilo yurwala e do man dingo min dina alama tol fana nga use into good nga use in a good way. So I am so happy.
Contenta kalamo lalu be tentu ke be jay fanam adama de mantima je kuma fonole minning dola biro manta bare komin bankolo mo mtolle tamu nyoti ntol mu dindim balle fananti molbe lamoro la minisia batan tolti fanan bare ke be dane doron na hakilo di nyola doron bayri be bankolo mun bele dentala be tetula fanan be jayla bintu na duwa kilo min be o duwa be continue la wala fananna nya wala mu kaje ko Gambia be ke kankilinti o kankili ya be o duwa le kala ka continue wala bayri nite ko karile atina Gambia tinyata o tada hanibi wo nendinol be continue ka woto Gambia woto o mari bina tambila wala ko itende ko hani bi manyo moyno wotarin kola hani bi wonyo newol be keri woto ka be amado nga kemu sabarlati ka duwa be fanan min be tama wulo ko e tolle la sola fewol long alma ala e kantaje ala e tanka katani kata tolla ila silankolo ila masilankolo ala be tankala ala inshallah bayri kama ko ro minke wala kan tol fanam ma koy jang be duwa kele doron na salwatu lulolu duwe doron bare nga kennu kilimoti Bakiling, Fakiling, Gambia, Bakiling, Fakiling. NPP.
Gambia, one nation, one love. Yes, thank you.
NPP, National People's Party.
Yeah, NPP in the building. Thank you.
Abaraka Binto.
Abaraka. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Yes. Nko ngakacha kende ba kejang. Alin share. Alin information on share. Ngakacha kejang. First of all, mbafola ala baraka atolla atinnan katarajang all the time. Dimas ngana nali kacha. Nga fale ntaman qualified. Baratol konon katol atol minita. Aliye nana. atol le atinna bin tolbe sirinja so na brother wol min keta Kexx di amuta jang Gambia funding keri ngola and mobe Kexx lonne PDOIS Gambia nganiyo atata la di amuta fa kumbot ndefa ga binan kumbondela Kexx resilient sayo ntol Gambia dingol nga join nga kawanti we can move our nation together so we appreciate you ibe do ko men kekan abuka res bare one day abala do ko fananjala one day we will have this country to go so na brother min fananketa NPP Lamin Jamba Jammeh ngeten to ngeje yela time min tayla di mbala buli nata bi Binto bantaba network yalo ndali yalo no muna nga ala tento ninga ngome en contact ibuka jutunna ida nila time le ma work bare inene buka jutunna ibuka jutun tol Gambia no la min bijam ibuka jutunna ikanale min fanan bebulu ya fonye bare alni mose disagree discipline is very important ni man patience sort kela moy mola e ka morning ita fen landano and what goes around comes around wala na discipline ka enforce jam back bar ngal tentu ngal jeyi dimasu koteng 5 o'clock Gambia time alkana nyina wala tina bi do later 5 o'clock Gambia time na so murunta o time wala to because na time murunta noto so mbal tentu la mbali jeyi la ha ala tentu thank you Jammeh NPP shout out doi shout out ngal tentu jalile aka jalile ala baraka kola solo ala baraka alla sayo no fo ala yali jo ala ma tamasilo jama wati I'm be wati thank you all very much alin subscribe na YouTube alin follow na page yot dimas koteng alkana miss you never know be jamal sambalana you never know asekeno mine fangolo call itemin kanjibe you never know fonga nyinke nyokande we have to work together hand in hand fonga do ko kenyoka mansa what is not ala baraka ngale appreciate le thank you all so much ala baraka oh thank you ala baraka thank you all ala baraka alaka kanendiroka amambetea iju so sebo nyaonya you can't ala baraka thank you ala baraka yes ala baraka ngal tentu kola ntol paretal ala baraka thank you Lamin Njai thank you ala baraka dimasi koteng 5 Gambia time ala baraka